right? I mean, concerned would be an actual nice way to put it. If you're someone that's concerned about what Donald Trump is doing, get in the box. Get in the box. We are taking all comers. We are taking all comers, guys. This is Late Nights with Santana. We will go ahead and get it started here. If you are interested in joining the panel, go ahead and request up. If you're interested in joining the panel, go ahead and request up. And as you get onto the panel, please, please, please mute yourself. Please, please, please mute yourself, and I will go around the panel and we will get some quick introductions going. If you are excited or worried or just any and everything, go ahead and request up and we will go ahead and get it started. We will get it started. Oh, hold on. It's bouncing around on me. Let me grab the right people. All right. So let's start with this. Let's start here. Billy, you got into the box first.
What's up, Santana? It was my phone. You looked far away at first. I was like, why is his screen so small?
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
my phone. So,
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let's see
yeah.
if we can do a little something about that. Give me a second. Billy, are you a Trump supporter?
I am not.
Okay. And Billy, just a quick recap while I do this. 1 to 10, how concerned are you about our country under this new Trump administration? About our country under this new Trump administration. About our country under this new Trump administration. About our country under this new Trump administration. Kel, you have an echo. You have an echo, Kel. You have an echo. All right, there we go. 1 to 10, how concerned are you about our country under this new Trump administration?
It is a 10, Santana. I'm extremely concerned.
Oh, you're jumping all the way out the window. You're just like you're all the way over.
Yeah, I'm very concerned. I'm seriously very concerned.
Okay.
On a multiple things. Santana, for I was born and raised in Mississippi. I graduated from Alcorn State University, School of Nursing. And I've always been proud of America. Regardless of what is, the history with my people, I've always been a proud American. Now I'm an embarrassed American. I'm upset. And then I study here these megas still running around these panels, beating their chest at what is going on, and the world is laughing at us. The world is preparing for war with us because of this orange Mussolini.
Oh, okay. Hold on. We're gonna get into it. Give me a second, Billy. Give me a second, Billy. Let's jump down for a second. Is it Grayfish? Like, how do I say your username?
Yeah, Santana, it's great fish. I was on here the other night kind of talking about this.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember you. Grayfish, have to ask the question: are you a Trump supporter? And
No, sir.
what's your concern level 1 through 10 under this new Trump administration?
10.
Okay, all right. Perfect. Give me just a second here. Kel, how are you? Kel, are you there? Kel, I'm going to send you a request to come off mute. Kel, I am going to send you a request. Kel, are you there? Kel, are you there? All right, Kel, I'm going to drop you down. I'm trying to remember how your username is pronounced. Nivel, right?
Right.
Nivel, how are you?
Good, brother. How are you?
Good. Nivel, are you a Trump supporter? And what is your concern level under this new Trump administration, 1 through 10?
I am absolutely not a Trump supporter. And before yesterday's halftime show, my concern was a 10, but yesterday's halftime show kind of took me it kind of took my mind off of some things yesterday, if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. I feel you. Perfect. Give me a second here. Lola, how are you?
Good. You already know, Santana. I am not a fan of that Cheeto MFR.
Listen, I still gotta ask the question, but what's your concern under this new Trump administration, 1 through 10?
I'm at 1,000. I'm at 1,000 right now.
Oh,
Okay.
I
I
didn't
want
know
I
we were
want my
allowed to
money
go
back for
over.
flying the Cheeto to the Super Bowl and leaving halftime. I would like my money back on that, please.
It's wild. Listen, we're gonna get into it. I mean, 15 to 20 million dollars just for him to attend the Super Bowl. That is nasty work. That is absolutely nasty work. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. As you can see, I'm leaving a couple of spots on the panel open. Guys, I'm specifically leaving a few spots on the panel open. We are hoping to get a few Trump supporters in here. So if you are a Trump supporter, if you are someone that supports Donald Trump and you want to actually join the conversation, go ahead and request up. We will make sure that we have space for you on the panel, and we will make sure that you get an opportunity to speak. That's right. With that being said, let's go around the panel real quick, and I just have to remind you guys of just a couple of things. Guys, while having these conversations, let's make sure we are using TikTok friendly language. What does that mean? That means we are saying things that will not only protect this live, but protect your TikTok. So we want to say words like pew pew, unalive, mustache man, C19, all of those types of things. I also want to remind people that this is a safe and friendly community. What does that mean? That means we don't deal with any of the isms, racism, sexism, classism, none of them. We also don't do any of the phobias, homophobia, transphobia. We don't play that. Not only do we not play it on the panel, but we do not play that in the chat. Speaking of the chat, please be mindful that caps are for mods. Caps are for mods. And so if you are in the chat and you're using caps, you will be muted and blocked for any type of grievance, I'll say, whether it be caps or any of the actual transgressions. But that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, I'm going to leave a couple of spots open on the box on the panel. If you are a Trump supporter and you decide that you actually want to join the panel, go ahead and do so. Guys, keep tapping the screen. We're at 17,000 likes. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 25,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 100 shares. And last but not least, we still have the gift goal of the pink heart puffs. I'm going to keep resetting the gift goals if we can. If we can knock those out a couple of times, that will help boost us out to the FYP. So if you can knock those out a couple of times, that would be super, super helpful. With that being said, we will go ahead and get started. Let's see here. Let's start with Grayfish. Grayfish, the floor is yours. I want to know, where did you want to start, right? Because there's a lot that's happened. And even more so, we have a couple of topics, whether it be Doge gone wild. We actually found out there are more tariffs, right? Donald Trump actually implemented the additional tariffs on steel. So, woo. Donald Trump specifically said that he doesn't believe that the ceasefire should continue in Gaza if said hostages aren't released by Saturday at noon. So yeah, he's in favor of pulling the ceasefire in Gaza. And then we can't forget about the Injustice Department, where Donald Trump is using the Justice Department to actually target people. And even more than that, he's doing things like having the investigation of Mayor Adams in New York pulled. So it's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So Grayfish, where would you like to start?
Well, fortunately, two of those topics kind of tie into each other.
Okay.
And that's like Doge gone wild, and then your in regards to his Attorney General's office and the way in which they're holding up prosecutions and ignoring judicial orders.
Yep, they absolutely are.
I just want to know how we got to a point where the party of small government has so willingly allowed the government to invade their private lives. At what point do we stand tall and say to ourselves, we are actually against big government and we believe in a right to privacy from that government? The argument about privacy has just continued to evolve now to a point where we're okay with the world's richest man having access to the Treasury's bank accounts that pay Americans their tax dollars, their tax refunds. And the assumption that he can't just stop that from happening is wild to me, because at the current moment in time, he's stopping U.S. aid from happening. He's also stopping NIH from happening. So it's like we are now just sitting here saying to ourselves, we're willingly complicit with the invasion of our privacy in order to like deregulate things or get rid of bureaucracy. Um, but it went from our personal lives by allowing women to not have bodily autonomy and the privacy with their conversation with their doctors. It's extended now, right? Like we don't live in just a physical world anymore. So
Yeah,
it's now
no.
extended into our digital life as well and our
Y-
data lives.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So listen, I kind of want to take you around a loop and ask this question because you mentioned the fact that um, the they're willing to give access to Elon Musk, which is mind blowing, right? And
Yep.
this is for the party of people who always pushed back and said we want the government out of everything. Like you said, we want small government, all of these other things. Have you noticed how not only apologetic that certain Trump supporters have been for Elon Musk, but also how much they're celebrating what's happening and basically the invasion of privacy? What are your thoughts around that?
Well, um, I think it goes to show just how uneducated Americans are in regards to digital privacy, and how desensitized we are to privacy in general. And it's been years, like decades, of Republican narratives and propaganda that have completely allowed people to give the government the ability to access their private lives. So
Mm.
now they feel like they have control over it because they feel like, oh, since I voted in Donald Trump and I trust him, then the individual he appoints to have access to my private life, I trust too.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Right?
That's
And but that's the cult behavior, right? Like that's a cult behavior. Everyone needs to
mm,
understand that. You willingly giving your privacy to your private information to an individual, and thus the individuals that are like what do you call it, Santana, beholden to him,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
you're in a cult.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey, I know we're a little light on the subscribers, but if we have any subscribers that are in the chat right now, he brought it up. Great Fish brought it up. We actually have some new stickers. We have some MAGA cult stickers. So if there are any subscribers listening right now, and you are actually you're currently subscribed, go ahead and drop some of those MAGA cult stickers in the chat for me because you hit it dead on the head. Absolutely, they're in a cult. Thank you, Grayfish. Give me a second here. Let me pass it around to Lola. Lola, I want to hear your thoughts, right? Because Grayfish actually spoke to that, and I think that's something interesting to actually speak about. The simple fact of the matter is, when it comes to certain people willing to actually accept any and everything, it's mind blowing. How do we talk to these people? I guess. I mean, I'm hoping we can get some up on the panel tonight. But how do we? Because it seems like some of them are starting to kind of regret their vote, but they're still unwilling to actually admit it. What do you think?
And that's the scary part. And again, this is where Grayfish was talking about when you are talking to somebody who's in a cult.
Right.
There's no, I ask this all the time, Santana. Where are these maggots going to draw the line? I think that's my issue. And I ask this over and over again, and they keep saying, "Oh, well, if he doesn't follow the Constitution." Well, I'm sorry, but that's what he is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess again, I would like to talk to some maggots to try to figure out exactly where do you draw the line?
Mm-hmm.
Like do you pick him over the Constitution? Like this is what is scary to me is the fact that you are literally breaking down our government. You're saying that you're trying to find money that's been stolen and all this good stuff, yet we're paying Doge $7 million and they've only been there for a month. Like I need to know what's happening here.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Perfect. Thank you for that. Guys, keep tapping the screen. We're almost at 30,000 likes. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Also, guys, if you are if you're interested in joining the panel, go ahead and request up. This is Late Nights with Santana. This means we are open to speaking to any and everyone. If you are interested in actually joining the panel, we would love to actually get some Trump supporters up here. That's why I'm not filling up the panel, because I would love to actually get a few Trump supporters in here as well. We want to make sure that we give you an opportunity to share your voice. So if you are a Trump supporter and you are interested in joining the panel, go ahead and request up. If you are a non-Trump supporter and you want to join as well, you are free to, but I would love to actually get some people who support Donald Trump onto the panel. Amaretto, are you a Trump supporter? Amaretto, are you a Trump supporter? All right, you turned into a teacup. Oh, there. Amaretto, can you hear me? All right, I'm assuming that's a no. I'm assuming that's a no. All right. Nabil, floor is yours,
Sir.
my friend. What do you think, right? Because it seems like there's more, I guess you can call it buyer's remorse at the moment. It's super interesting because it seems like it's just now starting to hit them, and they're just starting to understand the consequences of their actions, but they're still, thank you for the heart, they're still unwilling to actually accept said actions. So what are your thoughts around that?
I haven't seen enough buyer remorse, to be honest with you, but I did think about something that I had thought about a couple days ago in a conversation I was having earlier today. Is I feel like we're it's not really going to hit them until we have another like until we have another attack on our soil.
Mm.
And that's I was going to ask you, what do you think the likelihood of us having not just a terror attack like 9/11, but a actual major attack on our soil? Because he's dismantled the CIA, he's trying to dismantle the FBI, and he's dismembering the military. Like, we're the weakest we've ever been. Our power is a facade right now, and I think everybody outside of maggots realize it.
Yeah, no, listen, I think that's a great point, right? Because when you talk about what he is doing, it is a systematic approach, right? When actually dismantling the three-letter agencies, the CIA, the FBI, things along those lines, but then also at the same time spouting dangerous rhetoric, right? And not just dangerous rhetoric in the sense of, I want to annex Canada, or we demand the Panama Canal. But when he's doing things that's going as far as saying the United States should actually take over Gaza. And something else that he said today, right, was that he believes that the Palestinian people should not be able to return to Gaza once the United States takes it over. Like, that is absolute. Not only is it insane, it's absolutely dangerous, right? Because saying things along those lines, I understand his role and what he's doing with Bibi Netanyahu, right? I know that he's a puppet of Bibi Netanyahu. I understand, there's a lot of politicians that have taken AIPAC money, and so, it is what it is. But I think the actual rhetoric around Gaza and that whole thing is going to lead more to us being susceptible to attacks. And then when you factor in the fact that he's dismantling those agencies that are supposed to keep us safe, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I think that is definitely a possibility.
I do have a question for you guys, for some of the people that are on the panel. I think my biggest fear right now is, if, as you guys know, you have the judicial branch that, says, hey, he can't do this. And then you have the executive branch who actually enforces that. Well, if you have somebody like Donald Trump who doesn't want to abide by the rules, who are we going to hold accountable for, when the judicial branch says, hey, you can't do this, and he's like, no, I don't feel like listening to you. What's going to happen there?
Well, well, well. Thank you for the GGs. Thank you for the heart me. You know what's so interesting about that? It's a conversation that I had a couple of days ago, right? And not only is it a conversation that I had a couple of days ago, let me see if I can find this real quick.
I mean, honestly, that is probably the scariest part for me, is because, again, you have three branches of the government. The judicial branch comes in and says, nope, he can't do this. Well, who's the one who actually enforces that? The executive branch. And now we have an executive branch that is basically saying, we don't feel like doing that.
That was a conversation you and I had the other night, Santana.
Oh, yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
Isn't it the
Okay.
federal marshals that have to do it, and the marshals fall under the executive branch?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Hold on, because I got something for everybody. Let's do this. Where are you? Here. Oh, no, not that. Hold on one second.
Oh,
Oh,
I found something.
oh, I found something too. All right, you guys ready?
Go for it.
Yes, we're ready.
This is a tweet from Vice President J.D. Vance, and this tweet came out yesterday. The tweet reads, if a judge tries to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. If a judge tried to command the attorney general in how to use her discretion as a prosecutor, that's also illegal. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive legitimate power. Yeah.
Yep.
So JD Vance is sitting here saying that the judges have no authority to actually enforce anything that they're actually passing. I said that, right? And Hawk, I see you in the chat saying, he's wrong. Of course, listen, I know he's wrong. You know he's wrong. But I'm telling, listen, he knows he's JD wrong. Vance for sure knows he's wrong. But the simple fact of the matter is, they're going to push it.
Care. Yep, they don't care.
Exactly. The simple-minded don't know he's wrong, and that's the problem.
Exactly. I'm telling you, there's going to be a situation where they are unwilling to actually adhere. I mean, we can already talk about the fact that Doge has already not been complying with the judges saying that they need to stop collecting information. And we can also speak to the fact that Donald Trump, the federal government, the judges said that the federal government needed to release the funds that were frozen, and they still have not done that yet either. So it's a whole thing.
I'm sorry, Santana, and that was actually the reason why I brought this up, was because it's happening right now. They're supposed to be releasing the funds, and they're not doing it. And a judge today, correct me if I'm wrong, but today said it, again, you're not following my rules, and they just don't care.
No, that was the point that we made last week is, there's decorum that's supposed to occur. There's checks and balances that are supposed to occur. But what happens when those checks and balances do not occur? All right, give me 1 second. Let's do this. Let's actually greet the new people on the panel. Let's start with Kenya. Kenya, how are you?
Hi, it's Kiana.
I'm sorry, Kiana. I apologize,
okay.
Kiana.
No, you're good.
Are you a Trump supporter, and how worried are you under this Trump administration 1 through 10?
I am not a Trump supporter, but it's definitely a 10. I live in Oklahoma. Yeah. And so we have already started to put in our law for Doge. Okay. Our governor is Governor Stint is literally the worst governor besides Mary Fallon that we have ever had. We are 49th in education, and he's trying to take
Everybody
phones
welcome
out
in
of
Jamie,
school.
Jamie Ann. Oh my God.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. He's trying to add um, but Bibles. He's trying to introduce. He wants $6 million for taxpayers' money to introduce Bibles into kids' schools.
Yeah,
Like Trump's America's already started in Oklahoma. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like
yeah.
our governor is just so far up Trump's ass, and so is our Senator Langford. I can't. I just being a black person in Oklahoma just sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Are you in Tulsa or Oklahoma City?
I'm in Oklahoma City, so it's like we're directly affected.
Well, at least you have that. You could be somewhere else in Oklahoma.
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that
Okay,
is very true.
hold on one second. Hold on one second, because I want to introduce the new people on the panel. So give us a second here. Jana, are you a Trump supporter? What are your concerns, 1 through 10, under this new Trump administration? Jana, are you there? Jana, hello. All right, I am going to drop you down. Guys, W's in the chat for Hilda. Hilda sent a $5 donation to go towards the nightly donation goal to say, thank you for all that you do to inform us. Listen, you are absolutely too kind. Thank you so much for that $5 donation, Hilda. Yeah, guys, that means we only have $245 left in our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. So if you enjoyed the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Coffee, how are you?
Hi, Santana.
Coffee, can you tell the people it's Monday. It's Monday. Can you tell the people, are you a Trump supporter, and what are your concerns? What's your concern level under this new Trump administration, 1 through 10?
I support impeachment.
Hmm.
I'm definitely a 10 or higher, 10,000.
Okay. You guys are just breaking the scale. That's absolutely insane. All right, perfect. 1 second here. Tiffany, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Wonderful. Tiffany, are you a Trump supporter? And what is your concern under this new Trump administration on a scale 1 through 10?
I am not a Trump supporter, and thank goodness I'm in California where we're free. Lucky to be here. I think my biggest thing, and it's a 10 out of 10, is when they sent in those kids, the Nazi ones and the racist. Schnazi, to do the audit. I'm thinking to myself, why didn't we have auditors? Why did we have programmers? So this is very concerning to me what they did with our data.
Oh, that's the easy answer. They hacked it. They needed hackers.
Horrible.
They didn't need accountants.
Right. And I guess I don't understand, why doesn't everybody see what's going on? It's like you're walking around with people who are just in a cult, totally brainwashed, and then they just get off on lib tears, and I just don't understand, why is everyone so just awful to each other?
Yeah.
When we don't have to be.
Yeah, no, listen, so the one thing that I will say is there's always been a bit of a divide within the United States, but I think our politics has widened that gap, right? And it's interesting because a lot of people like to say, oh, you guys are so hateful, blah, 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 and you guys are hateful, and why are you guys pushing this narrative and da-da-da. I remember, and again, just being honest, I remember before 2016 a time where we didn't really tell people who we voted for. We didn't really talk politics, especially around unless we were around the kitchen table. But now you see certain people that are hanging flags and wearing shirts and hats and all this other stuff. And this occurred with Donald Trump. And now, don't get me wrong, Donald Trump is a master marketing genius, right? He's not a good businessman. He's not that smart, but he definitely knows marketing. And he instilled a sense of loyalty into a group that has stuck with him for years. And the hate and anger and the, vitriol that Donald Trump tends to embody, his supporters does the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Can I
Well,
try to
and you know
answer
what
that
I didn't?
question?
Oh, sorry.
Sure,
I
go
just
ahead.
want to try and answer your question if I could, Tiffany, like why they let it happen.
Yeah.
Because they can't see it happen. And
Flee.
the only thing that they have to rely upon is information from third party sources. And
Mm.
unfortunately, there's a world of disinformation. So part of
Hmm.
what is happening is Elon Musk is the arbiter of truth for many people on X. And he's just throwing shit into the wind, excuse my language, to
Hmm.
see if it sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Things like the US aid and the $50 million for contraceptives and all these other things. And people can see that, right? They can see what he is saying, uh, but unfortunately, they can't see what he is doing. And because of that, they willingly go along with the idea that what he is doing is just. Because, like you said, they're in a cult. So they just believe it to be good.
Well, and I what I didn't know and I found out last night is I guess back when Reagan was president, there used to be something that was the Fair Information Act.
The fairness
And
doctrine.
yeah, and went around. You had like elections. If they said one side, they had to tell the other, so
Mm-hmm.
that
Yep.
everyone. Now we don't have that. Everybody's living in their bubble, just regurgitating and hearing exactly what they want to hear. I just don't know how are we ever going to get out of this.
Well, yeah. Listen, I'll say this right because I was listening to one of my good buddies Zeus this morning, right? And he was talking to a guy who came up and he was like, "Oh, um, Representative Omar is worth $80 million. She came into Congress and she was worth, basically $0, and now she's worth $80 million. And where did she get this $80 million from?" And I'm sitting there, and Zeus was trying to look it up, and Zeus was like, "Oh, well, can you tell me about the story? Where can I find more information?" And so I was sitting at my computer, and I was like, "Okay, let me look this up because that sounds concerning." And a quick search, right? And I found that, of course, that wasn't true because technically all politicians are supposed to disclose their finances, right? And Representative Omar had definitely disclosed her finances. And so just verifying the information, not only was that absolutely incorrect, technically the fact that she has student loan debt, she's in the negative because of her student loans. So I hop up on the panel and I start talking to the guy and I'm like, "Hey, you can find this information." I was like, "Where did you get that from?" He was like, "Well, I listened to it and there was this guy who has like 1 million followers and he said it." The guy with the 1 million followers, he said it, and he was like, "Well," and the guy with the million followers said, "You can fact check it." And I was like, "Okay, well, did you fact check it?" He was like, "No." Okay, so you were in this bubble, this far right echo chamber. You heard something repeated. You didn't want to verify whether it was factual or not, and then you immediately ran back to pass that information on. So it goes back to your point as far as like people having that information and then spreading that misinformation because they live inside of a bubble and they're not willing to actually do critical thinking. They're not willing to fact check anything.
And
I
that's
was
just, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nivo.
I was just gonna say before you jumped in to say that, Santana, I was gonna say it's funny that the internet used to be for finding out information, right? We're in the most intellectual age that we've ever been in, but now all they use the internet for is to look for memes.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Hey,
Just to piggyback on that, Nivo, I'm sorry, Santana. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, 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 no. Go ahead, go ahead. You got it.
No, just to piggyback on that, Nivelle, like, we have the internet in our fingertips. And, I love these lives because every time Santana speaks or another creator speaks, they back up with facts and they tell you where they got their source from. And that's something that I genuinely love. But when you have a maggot that comes on, you ask them, where did you get that information from? Where's your source? They can never provide it. And in an age where you have the internet on your fingertips, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
I think one of the biggest problems too is like the literacy of the internet overall. Just we need to figure out a way to create like internet literacy, right? Um, I think being a millennial, and not to like toot my little generation horns or whatever, but growing up in a time frame where the internet first started becoming a thing, we had to like learn how to operate it, figure out things that were like disinformation. We were told to still go reference encyclopedias and go to the library, and how to use digital libraries with PDF formats. Like, we were taught how to do all these things, and I'm not saying that kids aren't taught how to do it now, but part of the problem is the older generations weren't taught how to do that. So we have a lot of people like in the Gen X world that have smartphones that don't know the literacy standard needed to operate one, because they can't differentiate between fact and fiction, because they don't know how to search for fact without being involved in confirmation of bias of some sort. I'm
And
not
Yeah.
some
saying it's, and I'm
people,
Well,
not saying it's an excuse. I hope you
yeah,
all understand.
yeah.
I'm
Well,
not
and
making an
that's what
excuse.
I was just about to say. Hawk called it out that it's not an excuse, in which I completely agree, right? Because I think that we as Americans has lost a sense of curiosity, right?
Hmm.
We've
Right.
lost the desire to actually learn more and do more and grow more and be more. It's been an interesting transformation, and to the points that everyone has made, like the more access to information we have, it feels like the less willing we are to access that information, right? And so I think it's not even necessarily generational, but it's just it's who we are culturally. And you know, it's funny. Um, Vivek Vivek Ramaswamy said Americans are lazy. Americans are lazy.
Yes.
They have a lazy culture, and they got him up out the paint for that. But he was dead true. I mean, he was spot on. He called people lazy, and they said you can't tell them that they're lazy. You got to go. But that's exactly what it is.
Well,
well, I
and
think a
and
lot of
to the
people
point.
also just maybe however their parents voted, or, they don't really, they just think that's how we should be voting. And they don't think that they can think for themselves, which is really
Right.
scary, because just because your parents think something doesn't mean you can't, you have to think the same. You can
Yep.
have your own mind.
Yep.
Well,
No,
well, to the to
absolutely.
the to the lazy point though, a lot of people think about just work ethic, and there's a
Mm.
lot of people in here who are not lazy, work ethically speaking, but they won't search anything to save their life.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I was watching there was a farmer who came out who voted for Trump and all that, and he was like, we've been bamboozled and all this stuff, and he's making excuses. He's like, oh, I didn't watch TV. We don't have TV out here in the country. I'm just doing my farm, and they're gonna take my farm away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
But you had the smartphone that you're making this TikTok from.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So there's no excuse to
you're
say,
talking
well,
too
we don't
fast.
have TV. You have information, and so he owns a farm. I would never call him lazy because I ain't doing it.
Yeah. No.
Um,
Absolutely.
but
Can I
we're lazy in gathering information, man. It's
can I
Yeah.
add to that?
oh,
Because he,
Hold on 1 second. Let me read this off, and then I want to make sure that we're given the opportunity. So I do want to hear from Lola and Coffee as well. But let me just read this off. W's in the chat from Mary. Mary sent a $5 donation saying, "Appreciate everything you do. I color and listen." Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for the donation. You are absolutely amazing. Guys, that means we only have $240 left in our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, which is at the corner of the screen. It's the best way to support the live. So if you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 50,000 likes. Let's get the shares up to 200 shares. Also, if you are interested in joining the panel, go ahead and request up. If you are interested in joining the panel, go ahead and request up. This is Late Nights with Santana. We are willing to speak with friendlies. We are willing to speak with Trump supporters. We just want to have an actual perspective. As you can see, I'm leaving a couple of boxes open for possible Trump supporters. So if you are a Trump supporter, go ahead and request up. We will give you an opportunity to make your voice heard. Grayfish, I'm going to come back to you, but Lola or Coffee, is there anything that you guys want to add to the conversation?
Yeah. It's actually something Lola said earlier about when she would ask MAGA where their line was. I was doing that for a while. Now I'm asking where our line is.
Mm.
Where do we stop just being complacent with phone calls and holding a sign? Where's our line?
Yeah. No, listen, that reminds me of something, right? So, uh-oh. All right, sorry about that. Can you guys, am I good? Am I good? We're good? All right.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So that reminds me of something. So just a couple of days ago, of course, you had the Democrats basically running around trying to figure out what was going on with Doge, right? And they were actually jumping in and they were saying, oh, we're trying to get in this building. We're trying to get into this building. And what actually happened was they were saying, oh, there's this guy. He's standing in front of the building and you can't get in the building, right?
Yeah.
And it was just so performative, right? The Democratic Party has not taken an actual firm stand or done anything that's worth note at all, right? So just sitting there saying, "Oh, we can't get in," like I don't know. The question that I have is a better question: is where are the Democratic leaders and what's their actual line? So,
Yes. And Santana, I with the fear that I have every single day of the barrage of things that this man is trying to do, and as I was talking earlier about, the judicial branch and the executive branch, and he's unhinged at this point. My question is, we are in a crisis right now. Where are our Democratic leaders? When is somebody going to step up and say, there's no more? Like, we can't do this anymore. Are we going to wait until this man literally runs our country into the ground? Like, what I keep asking people, what is the next recourse for us? What can we do to stop this? And I feel like our Democratic Party is, I mean, I hate to say this, but I just feel like they're failing us. I mean, I see, again, the constant, they're getting on the news, and like you said, they were trying to get into this building, and I mean that is they're allowed to access at any time, and it's just like they're being stopped at every point. Where does somebody step up and say enough is enough, and we got to do something about this?
Yeah, no. That's absolutely a great question. Real quick, Yubi, how are you?
How's it going? I'm a friendly.
Okay. Yubi, I guess I'll ask you the question then. 1 to 10, what is your concern overall as far as where we are under this current Trump administration?
My worry, like 1 through 10,
Yes.
like 11 right now, to be honest.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, I was just listening on what Lola was saying, and yeah, I agree that the Democratic Party is a little. I'm just kind of upset at Democratic leadership right now in the House and in the Senate. I think it's like a little weak, but I do like what I've been seeing from like the younger generation, like Maxwell Frost. I think we have a great bench, but I think age is definitely a factor. Like seeing Chuck Schumer out there protest and someone like next to him with a cane, it's definitely not the best look. And but yeah, I think we need Lola, if you're asking what we need to do, I think we need to, pressure our lawmakers. I know it sounds dumb and we want like something a little bit faster, but do that. Volunteer when campaigns are coming up. There's a big race in Florida, 2 big congressional races. So I mean that's what we can do. But the judges are also doing their thing for now. But yeah, no, I am pretty worried.
Yeah, no, for sure. And again, the thing that we talked about is the willingness, at least by the Trump administration, to ignore the judges. So that's a whole thing. Veronica,
I had something. Oh, go ahead.
Veronica, are you a Trump supporter, and what is your concern on a scale of 1 through 10? Veronica, are you there? Hey, Veronica. All right, I'm going to drop you down. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead. We're almost at 50,000 likes. Let's keep tapping and get up to 75,000 likes. Let's also keep the shares moving. Also, guys, if we could, let's knock out this daily gift goal. It's the little heart fingers. It will help boost us and push us out to the FYP. And also, if you have not sent your daily heart me, go ahead and send that. It's only 1 coin. It's 1 coin, and it helps actually push us out to the FYP. So all of those wonderful things. And I know I've seen some Trump supporters floating around. I can actually see some Trump supporters watching and not even saying anything. Trump supporters, if you are interested in actually joining the panel, we will leave a couple of boxes open for you. So feel free to go ahead and request and come up. Grayfish, I want to come back to you. And then Nave, I want to come back to you as well because I know you had something. But let me start with Grayfish because I had him hold off for a moment.
Yeah, I think it's like I think this lead off to what Ubi's saying. What's up, dude? By the way, Ubi's a friend of mine. Um, I think it's just that like the justice system is attempting to do their job right now, and unfortunately, the time in which all of this stuff happened and it was on a weekend, it gave them like a 3-day advantage over the justice system actually operating. And one of the things that we can be thankful for, though, is Wired.com, the tech magazine from the 90s that reported on this as it was happening in the most like wild way imaginable. So we're very fortunate for that.
And the Forest Service.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what was that, Coffee?
The Forest Service brought it to a lot of people's attention. That was
the Alt National Park Service. You are correct, Coffee. That as well. Yes, but I was just talking about from like a reporting journalistic article standard. But anyway, but I don't want to see things from Cory Booker though. Like today, Cory Booker goes on and he says, elections matter. We do not control the House, and we're in a minority in the Senate, and we don't control the White House. That gives them tremendous power, even within the bounds of how our democracy is supposed to work.
Yep.
I don't want to hear that from you.
Yep.
I know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all very well educated. We understand the severity of this situation. You don't need to reiterate it. All I want to know is, like, you have guys that were on the Senate Intelligence Committee. You have people that were in different involved in different branches and different departments oversight. You mean to tell me they don't have points of contact in those departments that are like we need to be getting to press releases. They need to be ensuring the fact that information is being disseminated to the public through the press. Right. They're trying to use their gavel and go to the floor to tell us all this. No, get your sources and start getting it out to the public. That's what I need from them.
Yeah, no, I feel like the Republican Party for sure has played nice for too long, and I think that's where the Democratic Party has played nice for too long, and that's where the Republican Party has succeeded, right? The Republican Party has called people out. I hate to say it like this. They've told lies. They've yelled. They've screamed. They've called names, but also, whenever the Republican Party has power, they actually swing that hammer. They do what they want to do. I mean, I always I ask Trump supporters, I say, hey, can you name something that Donald Trump did good within his first term? And they can't really name anything, but they know the TCJA, right? The tax cuts. They know about the tax cuts. Well, the tax cuts was for Trump and his rich buddies, and it overwhelmingly benefited the rich. And they can point to that because that was something that when they had the House, the Senate, and the presidency, that was the first thing that they got done. And that's another thing that they're looking to get done as well. So I say all that to say the Republican Party is no longer playing by the political rules, and the Democratic Party is still trying to actually play a fair game against someone who's cheating. It's the most insane thing to me. All right. I want to come back around. Nave, I know you had something you wanted to add.
Yeah, so first I wanted to respond to Grayfish about what Booker's talking about us not having the power because of voting. That message isn't for us. That message is for the folks who aren't voting. So why it's not something that we want to hear because we want solutions because we voted is something that absolutely needs to be said because there's millions of people who think their vote doesn't matter or they're tricked into not voting for whatever reason, which has gotten us into the position that we are in now.
I disagree with that statement.
Well, it was on MSNBC on Jen Psaki's show.
No. I disagree with that statement. I don't think that statement was made to people that that didn't vote. right? I think that statement was made specifically to people or to the well, not Republican, but to MAGA and to the rest of the country. They're trying to cover their own butts because yes, Donald Trump. When we all know that we know where things are going. We know that things are about to get bad. We know that prices are about to raise. We know that there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. And Donald Trump is immediately going to come out and point the fingers and blame the Democratic Party. He's going to say, well, it's the Democrats. They're doing this. They're doing this. They're doing this. Right? Just like as soon as the plane crash happened, he immediately came out and he didn't want to speak on the fact that he fired the head of the FAA. He went through the process of actually saying, oh, it's DEI. I'm going to blame DEI, right? And so as soon as Donald Trump has an opportunity to blame someone else, he's going to blame someone else. And so I think that was them trying to say, oh, we don't have any power. We can't do anything about it. But that's not going to stop Donald Trump from actually pointing the finger at him.
Yeah. I didn't hear that statement. I'm just listening to, and my process on it is it's something that we can't not say because we want to hear solutions. We need solutions as well, but people have to know that that their vote matters and we need to vote.
Absolutely.
And so that's my take on that. What I did want to say is in as far as the Democratic Party and us playing by the rule and playing nice and all and the niceties and all these things. I can't remember what I was looking up the other day, but I was looking up something, and what ended up coming up was Obama being sued for abuse of power back in 2014.
Did
I
he?
went to look at, yeah, so the House of Representatives sued Obama for abuse of powers for, guess what? Executive orders. And so what was interesting to me is why haven't we done anything to that? I remember when all this stuff first came down, man, I came on either maybe it was your live or Watts live, but I was saying, man, are these things an impeachable offense? Like, I feel like it just doesn't feel right, you know? It feels like we could do something, and yeah, so I was Googling something and that popped up where I don't think it grew legs, but that goes back to the fact that when Republicans want to do something, whether it's performative or not, they put legs to it.
Yeah.
And our performative stuff doesn't grow legs. And just, even with Mitch McConnell, he blocked everything for 16 years, it feels like.
Yeah, no.
And even though they don't have no leg to stand on, they're going to block whatever they're going to block. They put legs to their performance, and their base gets behind them.
Yeah.
And if we don't have anything to, if we don't have anything to do, we'll tell them, hey, we can't do anything, but we don't have that. We don't put those legs behind it. And so on that, I definitely agree.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'll say this. Where did the term, because we all heard before the election, well, Kamala Harris was the border czar. Kamala Harris was the border czar. She was the border czar. Well, we knew that there was no such thing as a border czar, right? But the reason why the Republican Party or the Trump supporters were so willing to call her the border czar is because the Republican Party was calling her the border czar. Like, they gave her that title, not Joe Biden, and they continue to run with it. Like you said, it actually grew legs and it went from there. Let's see here. Who did I? Oh, hey, Sean. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you, Sean.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, better. Okay, Sean, hey, don't get mad at me with this question, but I gotta ask anyway. Sean, are you a Trump supporter, and how concerned are you under this Trump administration 1 through 10?
I was gonna message you and be like, hell yeah, Trump 2020. Keep a straight face. If I'm one day I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna keep a straight face one day.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
No, I'm not a Trump supporter, obviously. My worry about the Trump presidency,
this administration, yeah.
About a 3.
I know why, but tell the rest of the people why.
Yeah, Trump is a symptom of the issue. He's not the issue itself. He's just doing what America has always done. I was talking to someone earlier tonight, and I was talking about like the differences between a Trump presidency and like let's say Biden ran again, a second Biden presidency,
Mm-hmm.
or even a Kamala presidency.
Mm-hmm.
Trump's just doing the shit faster.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not doing anything different than what we've always done. He's just doing shit faster.
Mm. Yeah, you know what's funny though, Sean, and I've said this as well. Like I've told multiple multiple Trump supporters that the issue that I have with Donald Trump is not so much, to your point, not so much what he's actually doing, because it's not like he's doing anything insane, right? We talk about deportation, right? Joe Biden deported people. Barack Obama deported people. But Donald Trump, the way that he actually goes about certain things and he execute, one, he tries to execute things without an actual plan. But two, it goes back to the point that we've already made. He tries to make such a show of everything, right? You take it, for example, the actual deportation of the Colombians, and the fact that he chartered a military plane and put them in handcuffs and, flew them down. And he made a big spectacle of all of that. And the president of Colombia is like, no, that's not how we do things. Like, we will take them back, but you're not going to actually have them in chains and all this. But Donald Trump is bulldozing through the norms and speeding up the things that are happening. Now, Sean, I know you mean something way bigger than that, but I will call out the fact that it's not that Donald Trump is doing a bunch of crazy stuff. It's just the way that he's going about doing the things that he's doing, and also how open and reckless he is about a lot of things that he's doing.
But Santana, I seem to think that he I can't remember if somebody can remind me about what Steve Bannon said.
It's flood the zone.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
Flood the zone for sure.
He was flooding it's a smoke show for what Doge and what Elon Musk can get away with on the back end, as everybody else is watching the performance of him using brown people as a show. And so that's the concern, is not what he's showing you, what he isn't showing you. A lot of people, like they said, flood the zone, and that's exactly what he's doing, and that's exactly what he did with the executive sessions. I mean, with the executive,
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Great fish. I want to come back to you for a second because I'm going to swap you out and bring up some more friendlies. Is there anything else that you want to add before I drop you down?
Nah, I just I want to say thank you all for just staying on it. I don't know if anybody lives in the state of Pennsylvania. If you do, please call the AG, the Attorney General's office, because we have a lot of children's hospitals in this state, and we pride ourselves in those children's hospitals. And those hospitals take NIH money, and even though the freeze was upheld in the courts, as the arguments have been made, like that may not happen, but let's say they do. Pennsylvania wasn't part of that lawsuit because we have a Republican Attorney General. So now we are stuck here, and that could be really devastating. Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, CHOP, is like world renowned. The University of Pennsylvania, Penn Medicine, is world renowned. So, yeah, if you live in PA, call the AG. He's not answering his phone. Thanks, y'all.
Absolutely. Thank you, Great Fish. I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you down. Navel. I'm sorry, Navel. Anything that you want to add? I'm going to swap you out as well, my friend. Anything else that you want to add?
No, sir. I don't have any talking points tonight, brother.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me have.
Hey, thank you for coming up. I appreciate you so much.
Luca's debuts today.
Listen, let me say this real quick, right? I want everybody to know who's hanging out right now how much I love them, right? You guys have to understand how much I love you. I am a massive LA Laker fan, and we just got Luka Doncic. And for me to actually be here on this live tonight while Luka is making his LA Laker debut,
I got you, bro. This is what we doing while I
Listen,
it's what I got on for you.
listen. I saw the score pop up. That's why we got the gold and the black going. I started to throw a little bit of purple in there, but yeah, absolutely.
I do have a question for you before you bump me down.
Hmm.
Do you have a schedule? Because I've been on here the last 3 nights, mad that I can't get in and under this Trump action you had going on.
Yeah. So listen, this layout, it's super easy to tell. You see how this layout is, and I'm here, and then there's the panel. This is late nights. This is the time where any and everyone can come up and we can actually have these conversations. So that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are sparring nights. Those are one-on-one debates. That's when you'll see me on the phone. It looks different. You know, I got the people in the corner, so the layout looks different. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, that's friendlies, and friendlies can come up and actually join the panel. The rest of the week, that's me smacking around MAGA.
Actually,
All right,
Santana, I have a quick question for Nivelle.
What's going on, Lola?
Hi, Nivelle. I've seen you in a couple lives and love to hear you, man. I have a question for you. Just, I know this is off topic, so Santana, please don't get mad at me. But how did you feel about the halftime show yesterday?
I loved it.
Okay. I wanted to
loved
get your
it.
take on it. I was curious.
Me too.
No, I loved it. It had a lot of symbolisms.
Yep.
It was good for hip hop. I was trying to figure out when we came up. I was trying to figure out how I could tie it into
I know.
Canadian
That's
tariffs.
why I said Santana,
I
please
was,
don't be mad at me.
I was trying to figure out how to do it into Canadian tariffs. But yeah, Trump is not the only one out to killing Canadians right now. So
Unaliving Canadians. Yeah, listen.
unalive the Canadians. I'm sorry.
Listen,
TikTok.
so I made a video, right?
Yes, I saw it, Santana. It was so good.
So what's interesting though is one person that I really appreciate and adore so much. She called me, right, and she was like, "I am so upset with you because you missed the mark in your video." She's like, "You didn't talk about what he was really talking about." And I was like, "Whoa." I said, "What's understood doesn't have to be said."
Yep.
Right? You watch that video, and yeah, I talked about Drake, and I talked about Kendrick Lamar, and I talked about the pettiness. I said, but you know, that old Negro spiritual, how I say, wade in the water. Every message isn't for everyone. And I don't gatekeep a lot, but I damn sure gatekeep everything that I spotted because everything isn't for everybody. So I didn't even drop not one jewel, not one nugget. But I'll do it here. One thing that I actually did love was the actual flag, the way the flag was split in half. He was in the middle of the flag. And then even more than that, the black people that made up the American flag, the black bodies that built this country, that actually made up that. Listen. Again.
Okay, but can I also say about the red and the blue coming from LA?
What?
Time together.
What?
Working together. I thought that was just amazing.
Yeah, so I just say everything ain't for everybody. Sometimes you just got to gatekeep and keep it for the culture. And I didn't want to give that up.
One thing I couldn't figure out, and I know because Kendrick is he's really methodical. So the setup was like a PlayStation controller, and I understand what that was because of Drake's subsidiary company.
No. Did you see the X and the O?
This is what I'm getting to.
Okay.
No, I didn't. Well, the question I was having, I'll go back and check that out. Is the triangle was upside down, and I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. That's the only thing I really hadn't figured out.
Hey, did you watch Squid Games?
No, I never watched Squid Games.
Oh, that's why you didn't get it.
So that's why I didn't get it.
Nivelle,
Okay.
Nivelle, that is your homework. You have to see Squid Games.
So Squid Games speaks to the dynamics of basically rich people playing games with poor people.
Poor people, yep.
And
the lengths that they will go to get that money.
Yep. So it was an homage to Squid Games.
I mean, it was also an homage to freeing Palestine.
Ooh, speak on it, Sean.
Ooh, wait a minute. I gotta hear this one. I haven't heard this one.
Okay, talk to me.
Y'all didn't know about this?
No, talk to me,
I did not think I would have to explain
Sean.
this.
If you don't spill the tea on this one,
I mean, the triangle in my name here.
yep.
But at the Super Bowl halftime show, they bleeped it out on Tubi, but it was shown through other people taking video and whatever else that he also had people waving the Palestinian flag.
I thought no, that was
At,
a protester.
No,
no,
he was one of the people, but I think either he was a protester or he was one of the folks because he got
He
down
actually
and then he
no, so
jumped
he
down on
was
the people.
actually a dancer, went through all of that stuff, and got
Yeah,
selected, and then pulled out the flag.
Oh, because he was
yeah.
definitely a protester, swinging the flag and jumped, and then they chased him down and they got him off the field.
Yeah, but they said that he was
He was
actually
one of the
one of the
dancers
dancers.
first.
I
and
know that's
then,
fucking right.
yeah.
Excuse my language.
but yeah, when unaliving IDF soldiers, H group will use like the upside down red triangle to signify the targets.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Jay, you're right. Jay said this is bigger than music. He absolutely did say it was bigger than music.
About to say he had a Grand National on stage, so y'all know them steel tariffs was kicking.
Yep, and that's why, you know what, I think that's why Trump increased those steel tariffs today, because of that. Because of that.
Well, you notice that he said he was going to increase the tariffs like what was it, Friday for Tuesday? So he wrote those initial tariffs out, and then I think he got wind that it was going to be a massive imposition to the Super Bowl, and then ironically enough, they all went away. And right before the Super Bowl, he said they coming right back after the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Yeah.
I still got to give you that tariff argument.
Oh,
forgot you
yeah.
gotta-
I meant to call you back.
You gotta hit me up so I can give you that tariff
I was
argument.
gonna look, which sidebar? I'm gonna call you tomorrow. I actually have time blocked out on my calendar. I was gonna do it today, and then the day got away with me. So anyway, Navel, I'm gonna drop you down, and we're gonna get some more friendlies in here, and hopefully some Trump supporters. I kind of doubt it. I feel like Trump supporters are hiding, but anyway, I appreciate you, my brother.
Well, bring me back up if the Trump supporters come in here. I got some.
Okay, hang around. Guys, keep tapping the screen. The likes are moving slow. We're only at 68,000 likes. Let's go ahead and keep the likes moving. Tap the screen, share the live out. W's in the chat for Chase. Chase sent a $15 donation towards the nightly goal. I'm sorry, a $5 donation. $5 donation towards the nightly donation goal. That means we are now only $235 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. So guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. If you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. If you're a Trump supporter and you want to actually join the conversation, we have a couple of spots open. If you are interested in actually joining the conversation, we will make sure that your voice is heard. You will have an opportunity to speak. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to YouTube and also to Twitch. We are live on YouTube and Twitch right now. Guys, if you're not following me on all the social medias, make sure you follow me on all the social medias. And Twitch, let me talk to you real quick, Twitch specifically. Twitch, we now have emotes. I put a bunch of new emotes in the Twitch. So if you are a subscriber on Twitch, we're getting ready to connect the Discord to Twitch, so you'll be able to get over, because I know, as a matter of fact, I'm sorry, let me do this. Commercial break. If you're a subscriber on Twitch, we're going to connect it so you can get into the Discord. So if you're not a subscriber yet and you're over on Twitch and you want to become a subscriber, please go ahead and consider becoming a subscriber. If you are a subscriber and you're watching and you're on Twitch, drop some of those cool emotes in the chat. Guys, I figured out how we get everything done, as far as, because we're losing subs on the actual TikTok side, right? But even more than that, subscribers are losing access to the Discord, so we want to get people back into the Discord. If you want to actually resubscribe, it's a way to do it, right? And you have to do it when I am live, right? You got to do it when I'm live. So what you have to do, I did this earlier. Boom. Took a screenshot, right? That's Polly. Polly isn't right here right now, but that's Polly. So what you have to do is go to TikTok.com from your computer while I'm live, and you will see that I am actually live, and then up in the top corner, you can see where it says subscribe. All you got to do is click on the subscribe, and it'll actually allow you to resubscribe. And resubscribing gets you access to a fast pass to get back on the panel with late nights. It also gets you access to the Discord. You get access to an amazing community, a bunch of really cool emotes. But that is how you resubscribe. So you can only do it while I'm live, and you just go to the actual live, and then up in the top hand corner, you just click subscribe and follow that information. You have to do it. You can't do it from your phone. You cannot do it from your phone. It will not let you do it from your phone. You can't go through the web browser on your phone. You have to go from your actual computer. Also, if anyone is interested, this is how you actually recharge your coins. Because I know people have been asking like, oh, I can't recharge coins. I can't, use coins. If you want to recharge your coins, you actually have to go again to TikTok.com. And then you actually have to select recharge. And apparently going through the site gives you a 25% discount. So you actually get a lower amount. You pay a lower amount for the same amount of coins if you actually go through TikTok.com. So that is how you resubscribe, and that is also how you recharge your coins. All right. And while I'm here, let me go ahead and just finish this. Hey, Uptown Sports TV just resubscribed. Hey, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure you get into the Discord. Check your benefits, click the benefits in your link, and get back into the Discord. W's in the chat for lovely sent a $10 donation, said, I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Thank you for the $10 donation. Thank you for being here. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you. Guys, that means that we only have $225 left in our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks. Hold on for a second. Lovely. Is that my cousin? I had to take a look. That's my cousin. What's going on? W's in the chat. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. I love you so much. That means we're only $225 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. All right. Coffee left. I was just about to come to coffee. Sorry, coffee. Tiffany, you haven't had an opportunity to speak in a while. What would you actually like to add to the conversation?
Yeah, I was thinking what other items are bugging me, and I think maybe when I'm listening in some of these lives, the normalization of this hate speech, these racial slurs, this misogynistic, see you next Tuesday things that they say. Like, what the hell is happening to our country where people feel they can just say whatever they want because they're not in your face, and they would never do that in your face? But just like, who raised these people? It is the worst thing I've ever seen, and it just breaks my heart.
Yeah, got the right person up here to answer that. TJ. Hey, TJ.
What's going on?
TJ, would you like to answer Tiffany's question?
What was the question?
Go ahead again, Tiffany.
The normalization of the racial slurs that these MAGA people just feel like they can just throw out there when they're calling women, see you next Tuesday. Just this horrible, vile, disgusting behavior.
My biggest question is why do you think that's just something like, you think that was something new? This is how America has always treated its women, its minorities, and everybody else. That's nothing new.
Well, she's speaking to the point of the normalization of it, not the newness, TJ, but now it's normal.
It used to be undercover. Now it's out there.
It's never been undercover. You just haven't been paying attention.
No, I think I do pay attention.
I'm sorry, because no offense, I'm not trying to. I understand what you're trying to say, but being a black man in this country, that's normal. That's everyday language. That's every day for me. It's not normalized. I've been called the N-word all my life. I've been told I'm supposed to be a criminal all my life. They've been subliminally and outright telling me that I'm supposed to be a criminal. I'm oversexed. kind of
Schmeck.
schmeck. I am an animal. They've been telling me that all my life. So what you're saying to me is you haven't been paying attention.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I do. I just think that maybe because I try not to go sit in those lives so much and listen to all that. I try to stay away from it.
This is my thing. I know you said about lies, but again, take the fact that you're off this. Take the fact that this is real life. Real life. This is real life for me.
Right.
I don't have to sit and lie to figure out how racism works because I live with racism every day. I'm a Gen X.
I'm a Gen Xer
So,
too, and I grew
hold
up in
on.
Oakland, California. So I think I do have an idea. I mean, obviously I've never experienced it, but a lot of my friends are of all kinds of races, and I've seen racism my whole life.
Well, hold on. So
I just haven't heard it.
TJ, I'm sorry. I got to push back on you on this one, my brother. Like I get what Tiffany is saying, right? And more so, not in the sense because I understand your perspective, right? I get you. But what's so interesting is, so I'm a black man from the South. I always say that all the time. And there's a different type of racism in the South, right? The type of racism in the South is overt, right? Like they're just out there, right? You deal with it. To your point, TJ, it's in your face every day. But then when you talk about other parts of the country, and like even now, I am in Washington State, and their racism is very covert, right? And I feel like if I wasn't someone who was immersed in, in that blackness, but then also in the South, and I hadn't been exposed to that, I wouldn't necessarily get it, TJ. I feel like it wouldn't necessarily click like that because it's so underhanded, it's so sneaky, and it's different because TJ, you're a certain age, I'm a little bit younger, and it's like they more so started to hide the racism and the sexism, right? They tried to tuck it away a little bit as time passed, but now they're making it okay, right, for everybody to be racist, for everybody to be sexist. That's why talking to certain Trump supporters, they're like, oh, this one was like, oh, I want to be able to get back to how things used to be. I said, oh, you just mean you want to get back to being able to say racial slurs and not losing your job and not being posted all over the internet about it, right? And so that's what it is now, TJ. You have those people that were undercover Nazis and they feel comfortable standing out in the light now. So it's not that it hasn't always existed, but now the cockroaches don't run when the light come on anymore, TJ.
I disagree with you to a certain point because
okay.
I really feel,
go ahead.
I'm just giving for example, the Ronnie King tape. How overt and blatant was that?
Yeah, you know what? But you know what's interesting about that though? They didn't think that they were being recorded. They thought they was just tucked away in a corner beating somebody down.
But then when they found those people not guilty, how was that?
Yeah, no.
I would like to add just to kind of back up Santana a little bit. I'm a Latino. I'm in the state of Maryland. In Maryland. And I will say, coming from a state like Maryland, Washington, California, it's a little different. My husband is actually from North Carolina, and I've spent a lot of time in North Carolina, more than I ever did before. And the blatantness in the South compared to growing up in Maryland, for me, was an eye opener, to be completely honest with you, TJ.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I think too is I do think that somebody like Trump being in office and now everybody hides behind a computer.
Yep.
Now I feel like you can literally, I was on a live.
Everyone's an internet thug.
Correct. And now I was on a live earlier today and this gentleman just went into the live and was saying the N-word, the N-word, the N-word. And I was just like, what?
Yep.
And now they have something to hide behind. And then you have somebody like Trump who is hateful and they're okay with this. They feel like they have they have unlimited access to being able to be racist. And that's where I think it's added.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me do this because we just got a quick raid. So let me say this. Welcome in, Parker Raid. Welcome in, Parker Raid, guys. If you actually just came in, guys, thank you so much for being here. This is Late Night with Santana. This is an opportunity, a panel discussion. So if you are someone that is interested in joining the panel, please go ahead and request up. We are willing to talk to friendlies, but we more specifically would love to talk to some Trump supporters. We have a couple of spots open. If you are a Trump supporter and you actually want to join the conversation, you will be given an opportunity and space to actually speak. So if you are interested, go ahead and join the panel. If you are not, go ahead and tap the screen, guys. Tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 100,000 likes. Let's also get the shares up to 350 shares. And last but not least, guys, I want to say W's in the chat for Hannah. Hannah sent a $5 donation to say, I hope you're having a good day. Hannah, I am absolutely having an amazing day. Thank you so much for that $5 donation. What up, Athena? And also, Lovely sent me another $5 donation, said, I'm not your cousin, LOL. You look just like, literally, you look just like my cousin. I thought you were my cousin. Anywho, guys, that means that we now only have, do my quick maths, $215 left in our nightly donation goal. $215 left in our nightly donation goal. So guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Sean, I'm so sorry for interrupting you. The floor is yours.
I was talking.
Oh, no. Hold on 1 second, because Sean was saying something, then I'm gonna come back to you, TJ. I think Sean was trying to add into what you were saying.
Yeah, I was just going to say that the internet racism has always been a thing. I gotta say that's always been a thing. I do think Trump may embolden racists.
That's what it is.
I don't think that racism's becoming any more prevalent than it ever was. Like, I think people are paying attention. Like I said before, like, Trump is a symptom of the issues, and I've been trying to get people to realize that they are on fire for a long time, and people have just been denying it. People have been like, nah, we're not on fire, and we haven't been on fire, and we just got to get back to the part where I forget that I'm on fire. And I'm like, bro, you're on fire, bro. Like, this has always been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Martin said it best, that integrate my people into a burning building, a burning house.
Mm-hmm.
He said that in 1968, 1967. I'm sorry, I apologize. And all the other blatancies. I mean, Tamir Rice, little boy was running around playing with a toy pew pew, was unalive at 2.5 seconds, and the man was able to keep his job. Wasn't that blatant?
Yeah. No.
See, we think it's blatant. I can talk also to bring back to Martin Luther King. I'm from Chicago, and I know the area that he visited. He said, and I quote, coming up here was one of the worst. This was the worst neighborhood I've ever stayed in. He tried to compare it to the South. He said this is worse than the South. The way he was treated in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area. He said there was Chicagoland area had the Bull Connor South, Alabama, had nothing of the race that we faced in Chicago. You want to go even further? Let's talk about Bill Russell. Bill Russell left. He played for the Boston Celtics, brought them 11 championships. He never went back to Boston because of racism.
Again, TJ, this is where I have to actually push back on you, right? Like, you brought up Martin Luther King Jr. and then you brought up Bill Russell, right? And I agree with you.
You forget about Tamir Rice as examples as well.
Say it again.
I can go on and on. You forgot my Tamir Rice as
oh yeah, you did call out Tamir Rice. Okay, you got it. But yeah, I mean, like, I think there's something to be said about all of it, right? There's some semblance of. Again, I felt like they were trying to, at a certain point, they were trying to hide their faces, right? They were, then, which, they've always tried to hide their faces. That's why, they wear the white pointy hats, right? But the thing was, and I think one reason why Donald Trump has been so widely accepted and Scoops, I know you haven't had an opportunity to speak, but I would love to hear your opinion on this. But I think one reason why Donald Trump was so widely accepted is because you have a group of Americans who, more than anything, wanted to go back to when they felt like I'll say, were more free, right? In the sense of, I'm not going to get in trouble for slurring. I'm not going to get in trouble for smacking a woman on the ass. I'm not going to get in trouble for, like, just doing this or that. Like, it was a time where, like, office harassments, like, you didn't have to worry about going through HR training and all. Like, there's a group that want to get back to that time where they could just do or say or just be any type of way and not lose their livelihood, right? They could actually just continue to go on about their business after groping someone, and they want that to be acceptable again. Scoops, do you think I'm off base with that? Scoops ahoy. Scoops.
Oh. I'm sorry. I didn't know that I requested. I'm sorry.
No worries. Well, you're here now. Would you like to stay up, or what's the dealio?
Sure, I'll stay.
Okay. So do you want to speak to what I just said?
Can you repeat it for me?
Sure. I was just saying, I think that there was a subgroup of people that voted for Donald Trump because they want to get back to the way that things were, where they could be as racist or sexist or do multiple things and just continue to go about their business, and there were no types of repercussions. There were a certain group of men that used to,
The white
sexually
men miss feeling superior. That's why they wanted to get rid of DEI, because they feel like they're no longer in charge. And as a white woman, I see that.
Listen.
Go ahead, sorry.
You said it. You said it. I think there is a lot of that where they actually want to be. They felt threatened, and I think even more so, you can tell how threatened they felt because of the way that they turned out to vote for Donald Trump. Like the fact that this was the most white men that voted in history, and they all turned out to actually vote for Trump. Like, that's a thing. Thank you so much for the cake. Also, let me read this off real quick, and then I'm going to come back to you, TJ. W's in the chat for Sonia. Sonia sent a $1 donation and said, that's because they've never been an 18-year-old walking through a group of men. Listen, you are absolutely right about that, Sonia. I speak about this all the time. Even as a black man, I still have some privilege, right? I have privilege because I am not a woman, right? And I don't... It's funny to me, like, the whole privilege part that I had didn't click until I was about 21 or 22. And then I was talking to someone, and I was like, oh, I was just thinking about the difference between men and women, and how, like, women, I've never been scared to walk down the street at night. I've never had to, like, put my keys in between my fingers. I've never had to, cross the street because I see a group of men. Like, it's a whole thing. So, yeah, absolutely. But thank you for that $1 donation. Guys, that means we're only $214 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. Guys, we got 390 people hanging out right now. If 214 people send $1, we can close out our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24, which is in the corner of the screen. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything's appreciated. TJ, I'm sorry. The floor is yours.
God, I was trying to go back to get what I was saying, but no, I mean, I can somewhat agree with you that the orange Cheeto, the orange menace has emboldened in so many ways America, but you can't embolden something that, I mean, you can't say that. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I always seen this country as racist as I don't know what, and they've been telling us in our face for the longest of times. To me, it wasn't in subtext. It wasn't in the dark alley, like, oh, I'm racist, he. It's always been blatant in my face, and the reason why I say it is because like I said, I read. I pay attention. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I'm supposed to be. I have to pay attention to my surroundings and what's odd and what's not odd. And what's odd is the fact that when people tell me, well, all this racism just come up all of a sudden, I just find it weird that I've always seen it. I've always tasted it. I've always. I can go touch it if I have to.
Yeah.
Anytime I go outside with my brother, and we can't be walking around our own neighborhood without police rolling up on us. And I go to or I go to another neighborhood with an all white neighborhood, and police have rolled up on us, and they first want to pick out it's me. Come on, that's been blatant in my face all the time. So maybe I'm just the wrong guy to ask that question.
No, yeah. Listen, I was gonna say this, TJ. I think you're jaded, right? Because I get it. TJ, I get you.
Right.
But I think yeah. Sean, I saw you had your hand up in the chat.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, I want to point out that this, no shade, but this is the mindset I've been fighting forever. Because, I need y'all to understand, you can't embolden something that doesn't exist.
Speak to him then.
So, if you're saying that, oh, these people feel emboldened to do X, Y, and Z, it's they've been saying the N-word, they're just saying it louder. And a lot of the times when people say things like Republicans just want to get back to a place where they can overtly say slurs, what really is meant is liberals want to get back to a place where they didn't hear Republicans.
Okay, Sean.
But that's my whole thing.
That's my whole point. I don't want to live in a world where we treat each other that way. And I think it does have something kind of do where you live, like in the Bay Area. In my whole 53 years of life, I don't talk to one another or hear people talk that way. When I went to high school, we all went to, maybe in the Bay Area it's different. And I'm sure there's racists everywhere, but we weren't raised that way here in the Bay. And we all try to love each other and be good to each other. But now I am actually seeing it here in Northern California, which is horrifying. Because I'm like, where are these disgusting people coming from? Because that's not how we're supposed to be treating one another, ever.
Excuse me, ma'am, and I apologize. I didn't mean, but you say you're in the Bay Area, so you should be familiar with the Panthers, being that you're 53 years old.
Absolutely. I grew up in Oakland. I'm very familiar with it, but I wasn't raised that way. I just wasn't. So for me, I've known it's existed, but I've always thought of it in some, Alabama somewhere, some freaking redneck.
Well, and so I think that's like what Sean is saying, right? I think that's the point that Sean is driving home, is that just because it's hold on.
Here's my thing about that also.
TJ.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Kid gloves.
No. Okay.
No. You guys can speak.
No.
I'm not sensitive.
No.
Okay.
It's not a you. It's not a you thing. I know TJ. I know TJ. Go ahead, TJ.
Here's my thing. And the thing when I hear somebody say, and this, no offense, ma'am. No, I'm sorry. Sometimes I need to be offensive. When I hear, I just don't see that. It's to me, it sounds like I didn't need to see that because it doesn't affect me. That's what I hear.
No, that's what you hear.
I think I didn't see it. I personally didn't see it because
you didn't have to.
No. That's not true, because I went to school with many different races, and there were racist people at school. We all knew who they were, and we thought they were disgusting. But I just think that on the whole, maybe in the Bay Area, it just feels like we were more of a melting pot here, and people accepted each other for who they were. Now, do we all know that it's different if I get pulled over than if you get pulled over? Of course it's different. Yes, of course we know that. It's horrible.
Can I jump in here?
Hold on.
Let me just say this real quick, and then I'll let somebody else jump in. Ma'am, you grew up in an era where the Black Panthers were created.
Yep.
Because of police brutality.
Yes.
And you mean to tell me that you in the Oakland area, where we have all these radical thinking black folks around you.
Mhm.
You never thought to say what's going on with that? What's the reason why behind that?
Well, no,
What
of
I'm saying
course,
to you,
I would talk to my
no,
parents about it all
yeah,
the time, and
ma'am.
you know,
Right, but what I'm saying is the fact that it never affected you, because if it affected you, you would not have this conversation. I don't care who you grew up around, it won't affect you the same way it would me. And
well, no, it still
you could be
affects
the
me. But what I'm
nicest you could be the
saying
nicest
is,
person, ma'am, you could be the nicest person in the world. You could be the sweetest person in the world. You can treat people with flowers and honey and everything else. But I still say that when it comes down to racism, you don't see it because it doesn't affect you. It's not, you're not infected by racism.
of course, because I'm not one of those people
You
that
can go,
says I don't
ma'am,
see
you can go and
color,
get.
because
Did you
I
say
do
you
see
don't see
color.
color? Hold on. Did you say you don't see color?
No, I said I'm not one of
That's
those
just
people that say I
okay.
don't see color.
I would. I'm gonna say this last thing, and I'm gonna let somebody else go. I wish people would stop. I wish people would take themselves out of the equation and just listen for once. Because sometimes I think
I
sometimes,
am listening to everything that you're saying. I think like you're not listening to what I'm saying.
and I'm gonna shut up right now. Someone else can go.
Yeah.
TJ,
So
TJ,
when
TJ. Real quick, guys, keep tapping the screen. Keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and we're over 100,000 likes. That's super awesome. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 125,000 likes. Also, guys, if we can knock out the high bears, that would be absolutely awesome. And last but not least, guys, we still have $214 left in our nightly donation goals. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Navel, I know you want to go, but hold on one second because we got two new people that just joined the panel. I want to make sure we introduce them real quick, and then we'll come back to you. So Desiree, how are you?
I am doing good. How about y'all?
Wonderful, wonderful. Desiree, are you a Trump supporter?
No.
Okay, perfect. Karen, how are you?
I am well, thank you. How about yourself?
Wonderful. Karen, are you a Trump supporter?
No, I am not.
Okay, perfect. So, guys, just to kind of level set for a second, yes, we have the topics at hand, the topics that are on the screen, but the conversation kind of shifted in a little bit, and you know what? I'm good with it. I'll allow it. And so now the actual topic has shifted to overt racism versus covert racism, and what we look like as a country now. There's certain people on the panel, including myself somewhat, think that Donald Trump has emboldened certain people to actually be outwardly racist. TJ and Sean have made a great point about how no, it's always been there. There is some sense of certain people not wanting to actually really address said racism, or just wants to go back to a place of not actually seeing racism. So that's how the conversation is kind of evolving. And last but not least, guys, W's in the chat for B. B sent a $4 donation and said, thank you for always speaking up. B, thank you for being amazing. Thank you for being here. And thank you for adding to the nightly donation goal. Guys, that means we only have $210 to close it out. Navel?
Yeah, so I dropped down like 30 seconds too soon. Um, so I'm a black man in Louisville, Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I tell people I'm from Louisville. I'm not from Kentucky. I don't go to Kentucky. And so your statement. Oh, so by the way, just a little bit about my background. I'm a salesperson, right? So my former job, I was door-to-door sales. So I've traveled the country, um, knocking on people's door for sales. So just last year, I was actually in Southern California for solar sales. So I spent about 3 months in Southern California. And so background that being of what it is, I've traveled the country, and I grew up in one of the racist places in the country in Kentucky. And so to TJ's point, you don't see racism because it doesn't affect you. This is not anything that's new. And the internet has definitely and Trump has definitely emboldened people, but this is not anything new. What I will say though is in my travels, in my travels to California, Californians they're in a place of their own. Like their racism
True.
is not even. So this is what I would tell you, Miss Tiffany. You've been seeing racism. It may not be overt like we deal with in the South, but you have your own set of racism that you have grown accustomed to that you don't even realize is racist because of the environment that you guys have. And
Right.
these are the same type of conversations when we're trying to talk to Republicans and they're like, I just don't see it. And we're like, we're telling you, right? We're telling you these things. And so um yeah, California is different because you guys are a melting pot. But it's like when you say stuff like, well, I would just thought that those are the things that you deal with in Alabama. No, those things are dealt with there. You're just not seeing it
Yeah,
because they don't
and you're
affect you.
exactly right. You're exactly right. And I feel like because I've lived here, and I don't want to keep saying me, because it's not about me. I can just go off what I've seen. And in California, we haven't seen that, or I haven't noticed it. I'm sure it's always been there. And because I'm not a person of color, I haven't been exposed to it, and I understand that. Now, what I've seen different types of racism. People have a real hard on out here for Indian people or Asian people. Oh my God, they're so mean and they talk a bunch of crap about everybody. I mean, I've seen stuff like that too. It's everywhere. But I'm just saying, I have not seen it where it's so in your face, where they're saying the N-word or they're calling women, see you next Tuesday, right to their face in parking lots. It's just I don't know if everyone's just pissed off and angry. I know it's always been there, but I do feel like Trump has made it worse or brought out the more disgusting parts of people.
He
I don't
he
know. Maybe
definitely.
I'm wrong.
Hold on.
Can I have a question? Can I
Go
ask
ahead.
a question?
Hold on 1 second. W's in the chat for Sonia. Sonia, hold on. I gotta check and see what this says. I wanted to hear from Karen, but Sean, were you about to ask a question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead. But then I want to hear from Karen because I want to hear what Karen has to say about this as well.
Yeah, I wanted to ask this question. It's a real question because I'll tell you, racism hasn't been getting worse. You're just noticing it. But why did it take Trump for y'all to start racism?
Damn, you stole my question. Shit.
I think I've always seen it. I've always noticed it, but it just seems like it's a lot more vocal and disgusting. More so now since he's been elected. Like, I didn't see on the news where like the Proud Boys were coming to Washington with masks on their face. That to me is like, hello everybody. Now it's getting to another level from the past that we have to stop.
No, this has always been happening.
I know it's always been happening. I'm not
Why?
saying that it's never happened before. I know that. I'm saying it's becoming normalized again.
It's
Like it
not.
was
It's
It
just.
before.
ain't normal.
It's
Stop,
not. It's
stop,
just
stop.
on your doorstep.
Why is it? Look, please just answer the question. Why did it take Trump for y'all to start noticing racism?
It didn't.
I don't think it did.
It didn't. That's not what I
why
said.
didn't you notice the Triple K marching on Washington? But you're talking about the Proud Boys marching on Washington.
I'm saying I just saw on the news where all these guys were coming up from the subway and they had masks on.
Before.
I didn't see that before. I did not see that on the
That's
news
the
before.
problem. Why did it take Trump for you to see it? Is
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
asking.
Maybe I've been just working my ass off in the OR taking care of patients. I don't know. I just haven't watched the
Not
news
working
that
in
much.
the OR anymore, taking care of patients.
So let me jump in because I don't want the conversation to become condescending. Let me ask you a question. Do you watch the news at all?
I try not to because it's just horrible. Everything
But do
I
you
turn
watch?
on is horrible.
But do you watch it at all?
Sometimes I do. Yep.
So one thing that I noticed, and I'll drop down after this, Santana, if you need me to. So one thing I
Oh,
noticed,
you're
like I
good.
said, California is kind of like you guys live in your own reality, and I'm not saying that as a I don't mean that as in derogatory. I'm just mean like when. So let me put it to you this way: when I travel, when I did door-to-door sales, I would always look for my community because um, I didn't have to be extra PC, politically correct. I can just be me. I can talk to my people. I can usually get my sales. California, we don't have a community in California. Well, in Southern California. And but what I found out was like people didn't realize when I told them about racism and stuff like that, they'd be like, "Oh, well, we don't have racism," and I'd be like, "No, yeah, yeah, you like what that guy said was kind of condescending to me just now. I'm telling you that I just experienced this in front of you here, right here," and they're like, "Oh, well, that's not racism. That's not what," and they live in their own bubble. It's very interesting.
I agree with you. I'm from California, and I
And
totally agree with that. And it
and
wasn't until I moved to Texas that I found that out.
one of the things they would do oftentimes if they would see me and they would be like they would try to find a way to bring something woke in and then they would pause and see what I was going to say and I'd be like, what does woke mean?
Hmm.
I'm just, and
So
this is the
for real,
reason.
like you
Hold
said,
on,
And
hold
this
on,
is
hold on, hold on,
hold.
hold on, hold on one second, because TJ, you've been
Yes.
talking for a while. Sean, I know you got your question. I want to make sure that we hear the other voices on the panel as well, and I do
Mhm.
want to share something that Sonya said. So I'm gonna wrap back around to both of you because I want to keep this going, and I'm actually super intrigued because I know where I fall in all this, but I want to hear everybody's voice. So Lola, I want to start with you. What do you want to add to this?
Well, you know, I can understand where Tiffany comes from, um, growing up in a place like Maryland, but you know, as a Latino and what's happening to my people right now, it hits home. You know, we have always, as a brown person, and nothing to Nivelle or the African Americans, but for the Latino community, you know, it's been bad for us for years. And I do think that Trump emboldens it, but the racism has always been there for us as well.
Mm.
So unless you actually have to live through it every day and people looking down at you every day, it, again, because it doesn't affect you, that's probably why you don't see it.
Okay, okay. Scoop, what do you want to add?
So I am from Baltimore, so I'm from Maryland as well. It's I went to a high school where it was art, so I had a lot of LGBTQ there. Um, but the racism, the hatred has always been subtle. It has never been in your face, but it's been there. I
Mm.
have cousins who say the N-word, and it's only been recently where I argue with my mother and I'm like, you can't sit here and let them do that. I also have a cousin who's married to a man and they moved to Arizona who my cousins also talk negatively about him, and it's like, oh, I can't have that in my family. I can't sit here and let them speak that way. And I feel bad that it took me this long to realize it, and it wasn't until Donald Trump got elected that I started listening to you. I started listening to Dan and Parker and actually started learning. And then I'm also the only white woman in a professional setting. So my coworkers have also taught me things. And I have learned, and I'm no longer going to stay silent, because if we stay silent, then they think it's okay, and we can't allow them to think it's okay, because it's not. Everyone should be equal. Everyone should have the ability to succeed in this world, no matter what color you are, no matter gender you are, no matter how you feel, whether you're Christian or whether you're not. Like, it doesn't matter. We should all just love each other. And I know that's impossible in this world. But if we don't sit here and be silent, hopefully we can make a change.
Okay. Let me read this off real quick, guys. W's in the chat for Angela. Angela sent a $5 donation and saying, and again, this is Angela. Social media and 24-hour news made it visible to her. So W's in the chat for Angela for that $5 donation, guys. That means we are only $204 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. We got about 360 people hanging out. If 204 people send $1, we can close out our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. It allows us to host these lives and do what we do. So everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. And also, W's in the chat on the Twitch side to Two Couches, One Vance. I feel like I know exactly who that is. Two Couches, One Vance actually subscribed on the Twitch side. So thank you so much for actually subscribing over on the Twitch side. Desiree, what do you want to add?
I'm just going to speak on it. Well, from growing up in Texas in a very small town, small community, we did have a small amount of minorities where I grew up. But everyone had lived there for generations, so they were established. There was still racism. But it almost seemed like some of these bigger ideas like Triple K and Proud Boys, all those things that are now more prevalent on social media, are very much alive. But I didn't realize that until my adulthood. So as you know, growing up in that community, we all got along just fine in our community. So you just think that it's just kind of not real when you're young and you're growing up in a community where different cultures live together. But now it's difficult, obviously, to get my family who still live there to realize that there is a lot outside of that community. And it is real. And it can be scary.
Hold on, TJ. Hold on, because I'm coming back to you, but you got to hold it. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Desiree. And Karen, last but not least, I want to hear from you.
Well, I feel the same way. Like I said, I grew up in California, in the Valley. I was a Valley girl. And I know that it didn't affect me as much because it didn't include me. I wasn't part of that. I was we're special, supposedly. But I totally believe also that Trump being voted in has absolutely done a really big number on that. Because he is so racist and nobody even believes that he's racist. And I also believe you, Santana, when you were talking about men, the men that were from the 50s and 60s, those men want to be around. Like, things were different back then. And the men had to rule the world. That's what they want again. That's what Trump is trying to bring us back to. And that's why I think he's so wrong. We don't want to go backwards. We want to go forwards.
Okay. All right.
Not going back.
W's in the chat for is it American Danian 06. I'm sorry, I can't. My eyes are a little blurred, but thank you so much for the Twitch subscription. You subscribe with your Amazon Prime. Yeah, guys, if you're on Twitch and you have Amazon Prime, you get a free month Twitch subscription or whatever. You can subscribe through Amazon Prime. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. All right. Sean, I know you had your hand on. TJ, I know you've been holding it. I'm going to start with TJ, and then I'm going to go to Sean.
I'm going to compose myself for a second. Because there's so many things that were said.
It was, and I did it on purpose, TJ.
I'm gonna give me a minute. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let Sean finish it.
Listen. I need you and Sean because I need Sean to collect herself as well because I know what Sean's thinking. So we need some collection across the board.
If she's thinking the same thing I'm thinking,
I already know, and I can't have both of you doing it. So somebody.
Sean, I'm gonna let you go first, please, because I'm gonna collect myself, and then I'll come behind you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I do not give a fuck about the anecdotal situations that you had in your hometowns. That
Sean,
means absolutely nothing.
Sean.
But what I'm asking about, I'm so serious though. This is real life. This is real life. What I'm asking, and this is not an unfair question, is why did it take Donald Trump for y'all to start noticing the overt racism that black people go through? This is not a question like a trick question. This is like literally like, hey, you didn't notice this before. All right, cool. You noticing it now. That's what's up. But why did it take Donald Trump for y'all to start doing that? I don't care if you think he made it worse. I get it. You didn't see it before. That's not the question. The question is, why did it take him for you to start noticing it? Because Rodney King wasn't covert racism. Tamir Rice wasn't covert racism. Trayvon Martin wasn't covert racism. Lando Castile wasn't covert racism. Corinne Gaines wasn't covert racism. Should I keep going?
And here's the thing, Sean. Also, and were you done? I'm sorry. First up, were you done, Sean? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just trying to put it in perspective because people are like, "Oh, this got worse because of X, Y, and Z." Blah 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 blah. Fucking, like, I'm gonna say some shit, and it's gonna get me crucified.
Sean,
especially with TJ up here.
I feel the same way.
I'm gonna say some stuff.
Both of you can't do it.
Okay,
but pick one of the two.
You're right.
I'm going to say this as
I apologize.
No, I'm going to say this as calmly as possible. And I know it's your platform to say as calm as possible. When I hear things like there is no racism, again, I say this again. You don't think there's racism because it didn't affect you because you did not care enough about seeing racism. What doesn't affect you, you're not going to care about it. Only when things affect you do we say, well, okay, now I can keep my eyes on it. It never took Trump to get in office to figure out that this place is racism. And then on top of that, we all saw George Floyd being unalive after he was called for his mama. Calling for his mama as he was passing away in front of our very eyes. And I saw within the next couple of days, I saw a whole bunch of white T folks get on this app and say, well, it was Propofol that did that. Even though with their own eyes, they saw a black man get unalived on video while you were sitting at home, and you still going to come up to another black person and say, oh, that didn't happen the way it happened.
And they justified it because he had monopoly money.
Yeah. And the thing is, white people have this innate ability to not see anything they don't want to see until it happens to them.
I disagree. I never said I didn't see it.
I'm not even done talking. This is another thing. I hate when people interrupt me when I'm talking, because I've sat here and listened to everybody. That's another part of white privilege that seems to be going on, especially on this app. You feel like you have the need to jump in front of a black person while he's talking or she is talking. Please stop doing that. Now, I'll say this again. White people have this innate ability to sit here to black people's faces and tell them, I didn't see any racism. We were a melting pot. And we're telling you that shit never happened. It's not true. The shit is a fantasy. And you'll still sit here in front of all these black people and a Latino woman that's sitting above us right here. I don't want to exclude her, but you'll sit here in front of us and say that things that you've seen, what we're seeing doesn't exist because I didn't see them, or I was just in my little bubble and I just didn't see, or I was too busy saving lives at the ER, and it just enrages me because it's like either you're not listening or you don't care. And I'd rather deal with somebody that doesn't care. That way I know how to treat them than pretend to listen.
Karen, I'll give you the floor, and then Navel, I want to come back to you.
I just want to say that I never said I didn't see it. I always saw it. It did not affect me, so I didn't notice it as much, but I saw it every day. I grew up with the Panthers, Black Panthers. That was a big deal in the Valley when I grew up. So it's not that I didn't see it. I just didn't. I wasn't necessary to be a part of it. That's what I was trying to say. I did see it. I just didn't feel like I was a part of it. So what didn't affect me in that way? But I always saw it.
Okay, that's fair. Navel.
I mean, what do you want me to say after that? But no, absolutely right. I was going to give an example of things that have been right in your face that Black people say, hey, that oftentimes when we tell you what's going on, if you don't see it, it's right there in your face. You say, oh, we're being sensitive, or that wasn't that. If you've ever experienced a white man call a Black person boy, that's the same thing as him calling us a nigger.
Also, I have to say this as well.
Hold on, TJ. No. Hold on, TJ.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And so there
I
are things
apologize.
that
You're good, my brother.
there are things that happen right in your face. Another thing that we experience all the time is you a lot of times you've been conditioned that the things that you experience aren't racism because they happen somewhere else. Like one of the most racist things that happened on this very app that you probably experienced on these lives that wasn't necessarily in your face, blatant, but was still racism. When the first thing they say is, "Well, what about Chicago?" But they in California, right? As if only in Chicago are those things happening. And so these are things that are happening right up under your nose, right in your face. It might not be the N word or anything like that, or the things that you might that might snap your neck. But if you pay attention, it's right there. And if you think about it, unintentional, you probably have been complicit in some of it, unaware because you're conditioned to it because you're not because you're and when you're unaware of something, it's easier for you to be conditioned to it, which is also part of the problem that we have with some of the Republican people.
Also, please let me say this.
No, I'm good.
I'm sorry, Lola. I'm sorry, you haven't spoken yet. I apologize.
Well, hold on, because I wanna keep kind of a flow, and I got a couple of thoughts in my head. And TJ, I promise you I'm coming back to you. Lola, I'm coming to you actually after this. Let me just say this real quick. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 150,000 likes. Also, if we can knock out the high bears, that's our daily gift goal. That would be absolutely amazing if we can take care of the high bears. And last but not least, guys, we still have was it $204 left in the nightly donation goal. $204 left in the nightly donation goal. There's almost 400 of us hanging out. So if 204 people send $1, we can clear out our nightly goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. All of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Everything is appreciated. Anything is accepted. Tiffany, I want to come to you, and then I'm coming to you, Lola.
Yes, sir.
What would you like to add?
No, first of all, I want to apologize because I didn't mean to say anything that offended anyone. All I'm saying is what I'm seeing in these lives is disgusting. I'm sure it's like that already, and I'm sorry that it's been that way. If people say anything, I try to speak up as quickly as I can and say, hey, you shouldn't talk like that. That's disgusting. God would not want you to treat people that way. I'm just trying to do what I can to help, but it just seems like every single live I go into, these people just jump on there and they say these racial slurs or see you next Tuesday, even just horrible to women too, not just people of color. It just seems like the overall lack of disrespect to everybody is getting worse, and the hatred of everybody. I feel it as a woman too. I've never been called see you next Tuesday by anyone. I mean, maybe behind my back, but not to my face. But it's like, I don't know. It's just terrible just to see all of it, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. And I don't know how we're ever going to get past it if people are getting stronger in feeling that way and emboldened feeling that way. I mean, what are we to do? as a white woman, what can I do to help?
Hold that thought then. So specifically, let's go to Lola now, because Lola, you are a woman of color. So the floor is yours.
So, and I don't know if I'm going to get crucified for saying this, but this is something that I've always learned. I will never have a seat at the table with white people. Period. That is something that I've learned. So I create my own table. Number one. Number two is that white people will pick being white first, always. So when I say that, I mean that all the women that voted against themselves of being women, they chose being white first, and that's why they voted for Trump, because we had our bodies were on the line. Our bodies were on the line. And they chose being white first. So one thing that we have to remember with white people that I've learned, and I'm not going to generalize, but I am going to generalize, is that they're going to pick being white first above all. So with that said, I just feel like, again, I'm speaking for my Latino community. It's okay when we wipe your children's behinds. It's okay when we clean the toilets that you sit on, and it's okay when we pick the fruit that you guys eat every day. But the minute that it affects us and the minute it's a problem, it's like, oh, well, they're terrible people, but yet you forget how much we contribute. You forget, white people forget that this country was built on the backs of African Americans. And at the end of the day, I thank my African American people, because guess what? They showed up at the polls. My own people did not show up at the polls. They showed up. When we needed it the most, they were there, and they showed up for all of us. And now we're expecting for them to show up for us. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Let me say this, guys. W's in the chat for Felicia. Felicia sent a $4 donation to say, I agree with Sean. I agree with you, Sean and TJ. And as LA native, things are different there. Guys, W's in the chat for Felicia. Thank you so much for that $4 donation, Felicia. Guys, we only have $200 left in our nightly donation goal. I know we can absolutely close that out. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. TJ, I know you want me to come back to you. I'm going to come to you in a second, but I want to come back to Desiree, and then I'm going to come to you, TJ. Desiree, what would you like to say?
Oh, I was just going to say it didn't take Trump being in office for me to notice, but I noticed as I became an adult and started to experience actual life, but that was years ago, before Trump was in office.
Okay. All right. All right, TJ?
I'm trying to hold back, but I feel something coming on, and I'm trying to be nice because I know this is your platform.
Please, TJ.
I'm trying to turn over this new leaf, and I'm really trying. But one, I want people to understand that racism is not just a name being called. If racism just involved a bunch of names being called, and I still have my right to my people is not being unalived in trees, or being unalived by police officers in front of everybody's face while everybody ignores it. If it's a name calling, if it was just name calling, I can live with name calling. I can live with that. But for some reason we think racism was if I call your name and it hurt your feelings. Racism is systemic. Racism is demeaning. Racism takes away things. Racism takes away not only our livelihoods, and our lives. So I'm still trying to grasp this concept, and how somebody can sit up here on a live like this in front of black folks and tell us that I didn't see racism. Even, and I say this, and I say this again, in Oakland, where the Panthers were formed, when the people that still, there are remnants of the Panthers still there, and they're still talking about the things they did during that time period. It's in history books. I know this for a fact. So the fact that somebody can get on a panel and say, I didn't see this stuff, And even in Texas, where they had the Robert Byrd case, when that man was drugged until pieces of him fell off. How can you not sit here and tell me you didn't see racism when you had nightly news? If you grew up in the 90s, I know you saw racism. Like I said, Rodney King, you saw all these things, and yet you're going to sit here on a panel with a bunch of black people say I didn't see racism, and I say it again because you didn't see racism because it doesn't affect you, or you don't care. And I just wish we'd be honest with that, and stop playing the games in front of my face. This is why you want to know why there's a big divide in this country? That's the reason why. Because white people refuse to tell the truth about the fact that either they don't care or it's not affecting me. And so if I don't see racism, because I either don't care or I don't see it. It's because they don't care. That's what it really boils down to. They do not care. Because if you did care, you'll educate yourself. You will stop racism a long time ago. But the majority but I'm saying not the majority. Not the majority. No, I say the majority of white folks in this country love racism. They must. Why would it continue? Why every time I talk about racism, what are you gonna do? What can we do? No, the question is, what can you do? You created this problem. It's your problem to solve. I hate when we as black people get on these panels and we get on with other white people, and they also come up with this as we speak French all of a sudden. It's like when you break a vase, old school thinking. You break a vase, or what are we going to do? How are we going to tell mama who broke the vase? You broke the vase. You fixed the problem.
Okay.
Well, all of a sudden it's we need to get together. We need to come together. We need to find a way. No, partner. And partneries. Partners. You created this problem. Solve the problem. Don't ask black people to solve your problem that you created. Racism was created by white folks in this country to demean, to destroy, to unalive. And the mere fact I'm still saying I had to tell people the mere fact I had to tell people this in 2025 is amazing to me still, especially when we live in the so-called information age.
Okay.
Too.
All right.
So I kind of grew up with Max, and he is a variety streamer. He does a little bit of everything. So I
What
just
is that? You guys hear that?
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what's
The one thing I would
Hold
add to that,
on. Sorry, I don't know what that was. Scoops, I want to come to you, and then I'm coming back to Sean.
I'm just listening and learning. So I don't want to offend anyone, say anything wrong. I'm listening and learning, and that's why I come to these lives. So
Okay. All right. Sean, the floor is yours. Why are you laughing?
Look, I wanna first and foremost, I'm dead serious about this. I wanna first and foremost apologize to you, Santana.
You know
I'm cool.
good.
I'm chilling.
You know we locked in. Don't worry about that.
I'm hip. It's your platform. I really like cutting through.
Hold on. You know what it is though? Like I worry about having you and TJ up here at the same time. That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's exactly what I'm apologizing for. Look, because you know me, I like cutting through the fat. I don't like any fat on the meat. I love me some gamey meat. I want all muscle and bone. I don't care about none of the fat, none of the fluff, none of that. I don't care about personal experience. I mean, in this particular instance, I do, but I don't care about your personal experience going up with my question when I said, why did it take Trump for you to recognize racism? What I'm asking you is that when you're talking about racism, it is when Trump is in office. When you're talking about racism, it is when Trump is a threat. When you're talking about racism, It is the looming doom over your head that is Trump that gets you to open your mouth and say something about it. What I'm asking is, why is that? I don't care about how you grew up. I don't care about small town stuff. I don't care about if you're in California and that's its own bubble. I do not care, because there's black people in those small towns. There's black people in Los Angeles and California. There's black people in that small town in Oklahoma, Mississippi, Alabama, Ohio, wherever it is that you grew up, that experience overt racism that you didn't see. Why did it take this for you to finally look and go, oh my goodness, that is not okay?
Karen, would you like to answer that question?
Well, like I said once before, I saw it. I never said I did not see it. I know I grew up with it and I saw it. But if you guys have got to calm down, because we can't help if you are.
Hold on, TJ. 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 Go ahead, Karen.
You're so angry. How are we going to help? How are we going to bring people together?
Not the white woman's tears.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on. TJ. Okay, I'm gonna have to put you on mute. Chill. Karen.
Yes.
Go ahead and finish.
Well, I just want to know if they're so angry, how are we supposed to fix it? You have to let us fix it. You have to work with us to fix it. If you're so angry, it's never going to get fixed. It's always going to be that way.
Okay. All right. 1 second. So, I wanted to come to Nivelle, but I know Lola wanted to hop in. Nivelle, Lola, which one?
Go ahead, Nivelle, take it.
Actually, I'm sorry.
I
1 second. Before we do that, quick thing, guys. I am turning the countdown clock on, just so we know that. And also, guys, W's in the chat for AB, who sent a $2 donation. Said, "I wish I had more to give." AB, no, you're absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that. I recently ran across your platform, and I really appreciate what you do. FDT, if you know, you know. Keep doing your thing. Thank you so much, AB, for that $2 donation. Again, guys, when I say anything is accepted, everything is appreciated. I truly mean that, guys. And there's only now $198 left in the nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. Guys, we got almost 400 people in here, $198 left, less than 30 minutes. I know we can knock out our nightly donation goal. Thank you for everything. Nivelle, the floor is yours.
All right. A lot to unpack there. Let me try to put it into this term, right? What we're trying to say is the music has always been playing. Just now the volume is a little bit louder, right? And so I think TJ brings up a great point to where he says, if you think it's just about name calling and things of that nature, and that's what you see, then you've missed the point, right? There's people being unalived daily. One thing I will give you into your point is, ladies, YT ladies, is a lot of the things that you should have been seeing, they come out on a national stage, right? But now, because of modern technology and phones and social media, the things that we see every day because we experience them, they're now in front of your face every day. So that's the reason why there's not really an excuse. We know algorithms have something to do with some of that, but as everything that if they name, we talk about Rodney King, we talk about the Black Panther, all of these things were nationally sensationalized decades ago. And when we were telling you that we experience these things on a daily, people will be like, I don't see it. But now we have situations that happen across this country day in, day out. We have the most people that are incarcerated for crimes that they didn't commit. We have the same amount of people. We have the same amount of people who are or of YT that commit crimes and they get lesser penalties. These things you can Google. Black people get a harsher crime. Like these things are out there, and so it's I you talk about we got to stop being angry. That is the exact wrong thing to say, because actually we're being super nice right now, right? Like this, and you may not understand this, and you probably didn't mean it that way, but calling black people angry is another racist trope.
It's a
Did you know that?
microaggression.
No, that's not good.
And
It's a
you may not
microaggression.
have known that because you see us being visibly upset, and some folks verbally upset, right? But this is part of the systemic racism that a lot of times you guys have been indoctrinated into. You don't even know because
I
it
just
doesn't affect you. And
Right.
I just want
I will, like I said, I'll go on a rant, and I just really don't have nothing to say. But I just wanted to say the music has always been playing. You're just now listening to it at a louder volume.
Okay.
I'm wondering
Hold on one
I'm
second,
wondering should
TJ.
I
Hold on
should,
one second, TJ. W's in the chat for Jody. Jody sent a $5 donation saying thank you. Thankful for you, Jody. Thank you so much for that $5 donation. You are absolutely amazing. It's $193 left in the nightly donation goal. Thank you so much for that. TJ, I'm gonna let you say what you have to say, but I really want to go to Desiree, and then I want to come back around to Lola. But go ahead and get your point off, TJ.
I just want to know what gives this is another part of white people that I never understood. What gives them the right to tell me how I should feel, whether it be anger or not?
You know what though? Like, okay, so I'm gonna push back on that a little
No, no, no,
bit
no, no, no.
because
Hold on.
but that statement though, TJ, I think that's a thing that a lot of people feel like they can tell anybody how to feel, and that bothers me more than anything. And I see
And
that a lot with men
No,
too.
no, no.
But
No,
go
hold
ahead,
on.
TJ.
No.
But
Hold on.
what we're
But
talking about here
hear
is
that.
why does the oppressor think that they can tell the oppressed how to react to oppression?
Okay, see
Exactly.
now that's a fair statement. That's a fair statement.
Specifically and
Let me get to that
particularly
point.
white
Yeah.
people to black people.
Especially when a white woman comes up here with tears to a black man, knowing how dangerous that is historically. People have died behind that kind of stuff. So the mere fact that you coming up here because you feel like a hit dog has been hollered and you want to use your white tears to say, I'm angry. You lucky I'm just angry. See, black folks have been angry like this for centuries. But we've always found a way to get around our anger and try to live our lives. Until some other shit happens and we get angry again. See, what you consider anger is us trying to deal with the fact that every time we try to move forward, a motherfucker always gets us.
Oh,
knocks us-
TJ, language.
I'm sorry, a person always tries to knock us down. And it's usually a white T person. So when a white T person comes up and asks me why I'm so angry, and first off, it lets me know that you don't know the history of this country was done to black people, and you're lucky we're just angry and we don't want revenge.
Okay, all right, hold on, TJ, because we only got a little bit of time left, and I want to get back around the panel again. Desiree, the floor is yours.
I just want to speak to that. I don't think that it's people of color that need to educate us. We do need to educate ourselves. And yeah, that's really what it comes down to, is taking the time to take off the blinders and see what's going on around you and speak to it, and just do some digging, because it is everywhere. It is more prevalent. And I'm on this panel now. Yes, Trump is in office. But I have been doing digging for a while and educating myself for a while. But it's no one else's responsibility to tell us how to fix the problem. it is our problem to fix. I do agree. So that's to Karen, just to let you know, it's not their problem to fix.
I agree.
Lola, I'll come back to you.
Wow. You know, I again, as Desiree said, I agree. You know, you people walk around here and say they're angry and they're upset. Yeah, that's years of systemic racism to keep them down. Yes, absolutely. They're angry. And like as JT said, you know, you're lucky that that's all it is. It's educating yourself and understanding what this country, the history of the hatred of this country is, and it starts at home. That's where you can change it, at home. These kids do not grow up, they're not born racist, they're taught it. So start it at home.
I just saw somebody in the chat that said that they're taught racism. So that's why she teaches her kids everybody's equal. Also, I want to say this real quick. My mom is watching. Hey there, I see you. You didn't think I could see you, but I see you. My mom is watching. So everybody, language. I want to come back around Tiffany. Tiffany, the floor is yours.
Oh gosh, Karen, that was a lot for me to take in to listen to. I think that we shouldn't try to say to anyone that they should be angry or not, because everyone owns their own feelings. So I just think that we have to support when we can, stick up for people when we can, try to be a good person in life, open up our eyes, and just try to do the right thing. And that's what I'm going to continue to try to do.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Sean?
Yeah, so my question was a question for especially the white people in the room. But now I just want to see hands because I have a series of questions. Let me ask this. How many books on racism have the white people in the room read?
Probably not one.
Okay.
About racism. No.
Okay. Anybody else?
I've read plenty of books on racism. I also know the history of this country.
Okay. What books on racism have you read?
I don't remember the titles. It was a long time ago. I'm 68 years old.
Okay.
Um,
it's going somewhere, Santana, I promise. Anybody else?
Listen, I have a sound effect queued, and I just opted not to play it, but okay.
Yeah, you did. You're perfectly fine. We all heard it in our head. Anybody else want to go?
I've learned about Black history in school. My curriculum did. I didn't know. I know that it was censored. I do know that. And then I have, as an adult, done my own research.
All I want to know is how many books on racism have you read? That's all I want to know.
I haven't read books, but I haven't read books.
None. So no books on racism. Okay. So since nobody else wants to answer the question, we'll go on to the next question. Right? How many books by Black revolutionary artists have you read? Authors have you read? Have you read Frantz Fanon? Have you read Huey P. Newton? Have you read Angela Davis? Have you read Assata Shakur? Have you read Walter Rodney? Have you read... can somebody speak up? Come on.
Nope, I have not.
Okay.
Now.
All right, cool.
Karen, so earlier was the one in your 20 books?
I'm sorry, no, I said I've read a couple of books, but that was a long time ago when I was a teenager.
Okay.
No Alice Walker. No, you know what? Never mind. So earlier in this conversation, what I was told was for a question that I asked for people to be honest about, and for people to actually come to the realization that they weren't talking about racism until something else actually affected them, and they were utilizing racism as a way to reach out and find solidarity with other marginalized communities. I was told that I was angry, and that's cool or whatever. You can think that I'm angry or whatever. I don't necessarily care about all that. All that rolls off my back. It's nothing.
I like being angry myself, but I'm sorry.
No, I feel you. I feel you. Anger gets stuff done. But my whole thing is that when people say it, like the microaggressions, that rolls off my back. I was on 4chan growing up. It means nothing to me. So like when you are telling me we're not going to get anything done if you're so angry, this is my actual question. You haven't read books on racism. You haven't read any black revolutionary authors, so you don't know about decolonialism. And here comes the kicker. How do you expect to end racism when you can't stop Trump?
Well, Sean, they had the opportunity to stop Trump.
Hold on, TJ.
Okay. I'm sorry. You're right.
I want them to answer. That's not a rhetorical question. I'm asking one more time. How do you expect to end racism without reading any books on racism, without understanding decolonialism, without decolonizing yourself, and not being able to go out and do the one thing that you swear that you're supposed to be able to do and stop Trump?
Well, I know that I can't stop Trump, but what I can do now is take the words that you're saying. I'm writing down all the authors, read, learn, so that I can get a different perspective and continue trying to be the best person that I can be, but just gain more knowledge and understanding and do what I can.
I feel the same way.
That wasn't my question.
Well, your question was because we didn't read, we don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you didn't read, you don't know. But how do you expect to get rid of the construct of racism if you can't even get rid of a product of it?
I understand that. And the only reason I made my comment was because TJ had said that we caused it, we need to fix it.
Wait, I don't care. I'm asking a very specific question. I don't care about none of the fluff. I've told y'all that before. I don't want to hear about what TJ said on this
person make Trump go away.
How do you expect to stop racism if you can't even stop Trump?
I agree.
See, when a hit dog hollers, it makes me wonder sometimes, because Sean hit it right on the head as usual. She's always accurate. The same people that always call us angry don't know a goddamn thing about racism.
I do know. Just because I didn't read my authors doesn't mean I don't know.
Excuse me, ma'am. If you did know, you would never tell a black person how angry they should be.
Well, the only reason I made that comment was because you said
there should be no reason.
We got to fix it.
Hold on, time out. So if I was a misogynist and told you women should stay in the kitchen, but I didn't mean that, what does that mean? I know that I'm not supposed to make that comment because I know what that statement means to women. You used a comment telling me that I should stop being angry.
I'm sorry. I should not have said that.
I really don't think you are.
I am. I absolutely am.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and drop because it's late.
Thank you,
and
TJ.
I'm agitated. Let me just say one last thing.
You bet, TJ.
No.
Okay, because usually when you be like, let me say one last thing and drop, then,
Okay, I'll wait.
On a 3, bring it in on a 3, because on a 3.
Okay, a 3.
Okay.
I need white people, especially white women, to stop. Don't do what just happened. I'll say this again. Historically, that gets black people especially black men like myself, unalived quickly. If I am angry, I have a reason why to be angry. I have a reason why to be angry. I have 400 years of reasons to be angry. 400 years of reasons to be angry. I'm sorry. If you really want to know in racism, first off, find out what it really means and what it is. And secondly, stop asking black people to do it for you. I'm done. Y'all have a good night.
TJ, have a good evening.
Yeah. That was me out of 3.
It was. You did a good job.
All right. Take care, y'all.
Have a good one. Lola, I want to come back to Lola because I feel like she's the only person on the panel, no offense, but it's been keeping it kind of level. So I'm going to come back to Lola for a second. Whatever. Don't make that face. Lola, the floor is yours.
I've been trying to keep it cool because I'm always on 10. But again, for the YT women, as I've said, looking at the polls and the way that I saw them, you guys didn't show out for us. This is why Trump is in office, because again, you showed your skin color first above all, and that's what I've always known. My thing is, again, you need to educate yourself. You need to educate yourself, and you need to know that saying you're angry to a black person or a male just in general is not what you need to say. If you know and grew up around races, around other minorities, you should know that. So that really shows your ignorance. And that's all I'm gonna say. Like I said, I'm not trying to be on a 10 today. I wanted to be calm. But some of the things that I heard in here, again, are the reason why YT women, you show your privilege. And that's a problem.
So let me, can I jump in?
Yeah, hold on one second. Lola, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to drop you down, okay? Have a good one.
Bye, Lola.
Also, one last time, guys, we have $193 left in the nightly donation goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links are in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Nabil.
Yes. So first and foremost, I have been very level. But
Lola was better. So then what?
Sure. I'm gonna argue that point. What I will say is, it's ironic the young lady's name, right? And I don't think she meant any harm by it, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But her name,
I thought the same thing.
Bro,
I wish it was just
Neville. Why is Santana saying we weren't calm and tame when he was about to play sound effects?
Come on.
He was about to hit the whammy, bro. That shit was about to go.
No, because she was like, I read 20 books. I was like, why the fuck you lying?
Hey yo!
I'm trying to bring some decorum back. Anyways, so my point was going to be that all she has to do is get on this here free internet that we have and just Google videos of your name. Like you have a unending source of material about racism based on your name. And then what I did want to say, since we still have Miss Tiffany left, who posed the question, to take it as a learning experience. But there's two words that I think that get overused and aren't really properly understood, right? That's ignorance and stupidity, right? There is a time and a place where ignorance is acceptable, right? There's never really a time and a place for stupidity to be acceptable, right? And so ignorant is when you do something you're unknowing of what you're doing because you just didn't know. right? So now you've been educated on things how to speak to Black people, some of the things that we've gone through. And so when you find yourself in a situation like that and you do some of these things again, then you're just being stupid. And so I would just say take some of this stuff as a learning experience. Some of the guidance that Sean and TJ have given us all. Um, don't take it as personal, although it may feel personal. Take it as the fact that you were ignorant to some situations, as you acknowledged that you were ignorant to it being around you all alone. But now just don't be stupid to it.
Yep.
I will do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nabil, I'm gonna drop you down. Thank you. I appreciate you. Tiffany, what would you like to add?
I mean, I don't think I have anything else to add. I've learned a lot, and I'm gonna do some research and do a lot of reading and just be more aware. And I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. That wasn't my intention to bring this up. So.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? And I'll say this: you didn't hurt anyone's feelings, or Sean, were your feelings hurt?
No, I was actually probably about to say the same thing you're about to say.
Yeah, no. You didn't hurt anyone's feelings, and I hate to say it like this, but sometimes there's a catalyst needed, right? And this wasn't where the conversation was supposed to go at all tonight, but I definitely let it go there because there's never a wrong time to have this type of conversation, especially with certain people. If you're willing to listen and learn and take that feedback, then for sure. But it's never a wrong time to actually dig into this type of issue. So, like, there's no reason to apologize. And plus, I mean, you didn't hurt my feelings. I know you didn't hurt Sean's feelings. TJ said his feelings wasn't hurt. So, yeah, no, you're perfectly fine.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Never mind. Go ahead.
I was just about to say thank you for coming up, Tiffany. I appreciate you.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You as well. Scoop, what would you like to add?
I don't really have much to add. I just want to say thank you for having me up here. I did learn a lot, and going forward, I will apply it in my everyday life. And I've been educating myself probably when everything happened with George Floyd was when I noticed how effed up our world had really became. Well, it was noticeable for white people, for like myself. I grew up in a family where we were just complicit to it, and my mom never wanted to rock the boat because family was always more important than, like, she didn't want to fight. She didn't want to fight with them. But at this point in time, at 35, having my own mind, having seen what I've seen within the last few years, actually, like, TikTok has also opened my eyes to things that I've never knew that was going on in other parts of the world. So TikTok has definitely been something that has also opened my eyes to see that the world has just always been a horrible place.
Yeah, no, I think that's something important, right? I think the access to information is super important, but then also the visibility and also, what do you do when you see it? Not turning a blind eye, but also, being proactive when that comes. So no, I mean, I think that's super important to say, and hopefully it's always. I'll say this: it's never too late to learn, and we can never stop. Sean, hey Sean, you didn't hear my announcement the other day, did you? I don't think you were around.
What announcement?
Guess what I'm doing?
Oh, what?
I decided to go ahead and get my PhD.
Ooh.
Hey. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my PhD.
That boy cooked.
I'm gonna go ahead and scoop it up. So But the point is, it's never too late to like it's always a great opportunity to continue to learn. So thank you for actually being here and be willing to actually learn, Scoop. I mean, that's important. So
Thank you so much. You have a good night, everyone.
thank you. You as well. Sean,
Yeah,
what do you have after coming up here and starting all this shit? You know, I'm putting this one on you.
100%. I will say this to especially white people. I don't. The whole thing about the feelings. Never mind. I ain't gonna say nothing. But the whole thing about the feelings is that it's not about our feelings. It's about yours. You have issues with the things that you haven't noticed or have noticed. And all I'm doing is pointing out, I do this with everybody. All I'm doing is pointing out the things you either have not considered or don't want to consider yet. Because all of these things are affecting people that you don't understand are affecting already. Everything that we've talked about here tonight, I don't know if everybody knows this, but everything, Santana's very, very smart. Like, bro's going for his PhD, and I can see why.
I'm okay.
Everything that we talked about tonight, you okay? Everything we talked about tonight, especially within the realms of racism and how black people are treated and affected by racism and white people not seeing it, have everything to do with every single one of these topics on the board. Department of Government Efficiency, first of all, is able to operate unchecked. They are able to cut government jobs without knowing the consequences. And if you're cutting jobs without knowing the consequences and you're against shit like stuff like DEI, who do you think the jobs?
Sean, I'm sorry. Can I one second, Sean? Can you see the screen? Hold on.
It says to shutter diversity, equity, and inclusion office following Donald Trump's executive orders.
Shutting down the DEI offices for PBS. Yeah. Yep.
Insanity.
Yep.
This is what I'm saying. Like, when you are against diversity, equity, and inclusion, you're against affirmative action. Who do you think the jobs are being cut? You think they're cutting white people's jobs in the government? No, they're cutting minorities' jobs in the government. Doge gone wild, Brody. More tariffs. When tariffs come in, who pays for tariffs? Consumers. Who has less money for things that they need? Minorities. Who has to pay? Who needs the cost of goods to be less? Minorities. So who will the tariffs affect the most? Minorities. No ceasefire in Gaza. Are people in Gaza a minority or not? When they send people off to war and they put boots on the ground, like, we learned this from Vietnam. We learned this from the Gulf War. We learned this from the War on Terror. We're the first people on the ground that they try and recruit from. We're the neighborhoods that they recruit from. Minorities. The Injustice Department. What are we like? Do I even have to go into it? Do I have to start naming names again? Do I have to start into dropping names again? Dog, listen, it's Black History Month. My biggest thing about, especially, I'm talking to you, Santana, right now. My biggest thing about, especially when white people say things like, "Oh, racism has gotten worse," or racism is obviously it's being emboldened. That's not up for debate. But when they say that it's getting worse or there's more racism, and I'm seeing more racism, the thing that irritates me the most is that you're talking about seeing more racism, but you ain't picked up no decolonial theory. You're talking about seeing more racism, but you're not following Black revolutionary thought process or indigenous revolutionary thought process. You're not advocating for these groups. What are you planning to do about it? Or are you just planning to wait it out?
Yeah.
because they're not coming
Well, I
after
mean,
me.
it's going to get better at some point, right? I mean, if we just hang on and in 4 years, Trump is gone and racism will be gone. So,
We click our heels 3 times and say, "There's no place like home."
no place like home. You and it always gets me when they be like, "Well, if you stop talking about racism, then racism wouldn't exist." Cool. Cool. Okay.
That's the point, though. That's literally the entire point. Like, that's literally everything we've talked about tonight is when people say, if you stop talking about racism, then racism will go away. Yeah, for you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to land my plane here. Look, I talked a lot about what to read and who to read or whatever else. I'm not going to drop no specific books. All I'm going to say is this, because you can find pretty much everything for free. You can get free trials on Audible. There's books on YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. If you can think of just any black revolutionary, whether it be Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Fannie Lou Hamer, but James Baldwin, Alice Walker, whoever.
Let's not forget the honorable brother, Huey P. Newton.
Huey P. Newton.
If
you can think of,
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Look, if you can think of one, read a book they wrote. That's all I'm asking. Just if you can, the next time I ask you, the next time you drop MLK's name and I ask you, have you read a book by MLK? And you say no, I'm losing my mind.
Yep.
If you think of them, read something they wrote. That's all I got.
All right. Well, Sean, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. You absolutely know that. Thank you again. This is not where it was intended on going tonight, but I'm so happy that we ended up here. All right, Sean, I'm gonna drop you down.
Yeah, do your thing.
All right. Guys, W's in the chat. W's in the chat. W's in the chat for everyone. W's in the chat for Sean. W's in the chat for TJ. W's in the chat for everyone that came through and was just absolutely amazing. I think that there was a lot of great conversation had, right? Because we were really going to stick on topic this evening, and we were going to talk through the different things and where we are in Trump's America and how all these things are connected. But like I said, excuse me, there's never a bad time to have these types of conversations. And I think these types of conversations are super important because with these conversations, it gives us an opportunity to learn, grow, and to be better, right? Which is always something that we want to do. So yeah, guys, I mean, tomorrow night we will get back, and yeah, you just missed the end of it. Alina, you missed. It got kind of wicked. It got kind of wicked, Alina. You missed White Women Tears. Hold on for a second. Hello? Hello? Oh, that hurts. Oh, I just caught a cramp laughing so hard. Oh, I just caught a cramp laughing so hard. Oh, oh my God. Okay. The reason why. Anybody want to guess why I'm laughing so hard? Anybody want to guess why I'm laughing the way that I just laughed? Anybody in the chat want to? You're absolutely right. Somebody just said it. Yeah, that was her. She actually, I know for a fact she didn't mean to come up here. I know for a fact she probably touched her phone the wrong way, and she realized, and I bet she probably threw her phone out the window just now, in the toilet or something. I am willing. Hold on. As a matter of fact, this is what we gonna do. I'm willing to put money on it. She had no idea. Hold on. Answer the phone, lady. Answer the phone. Oh, you not gonna pick up the phone?
8, 6.
She, I know, I see you. Like, I see you. I see you, and you're not gonna answer my phone call? Okay. I know she had to throw her phone out. Hold on. Hello?
I can't believe you did that.
What'd I do?
I heard you. You know I hit that by mistake. And then I was like, what happened? I'm not trying to join the conversation.
Oh,
I'm
you
listening.
You listen? Are you still listening?
I'm listening, yes.
Oh, everybody listening to you right now.
I know it. I figured that.
Oh.
I just started laughing. I was trying to answer my phone. Hello, everyone. I love it. Bye, Dominique. Bye, Santana. My bad.
Bye. Oh my God. W's in the chat for my mom. That's yeah. We've had everything here tonight. It's been a heck of a night. Oh, I know she had to lose her mind. I know she lost her mind. She told me, I'll tell you guys the story real quick. She told me that one night she was sitting listening, and then something happened, and then somebody was on the panel, and it was like, what's that sound? And she looked at her phone, and she thought it was her. She immediately just started clicking buttons as quick as she could. She had no idea what she was doing. Oh my gosh. Anyway, guys. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Oh, hey, guys, W's in the chat for Alina. Alina sent a $20 donation to go towards the nightly donation goal. Said, love you, bud. Love you too, Alina. Thank you so much for that $20 donation. You're absolutely far too kind. Thank you. Guys, it has been a wicked night. It's been a wicked night. But listen, I need everybody back here tomorrow. Right, because tomorrow we're really going to get into it, and I really need to actually have everybody back here tomorrow. I got a couple of really great announcements that's going to be coming your way. There's a couple of things that we're doing, and I think that someone said what time. We do this at 11 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Rebecca, I don't know what time that is in the UK, but it's 11 p.m. Pacific. 8 p.m. I'm sorry, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Can somebody convert that for me? What time is 8 p.m. Pacific versus UK time? K, what time would that be? Can you tell K what time do we start in the UK? 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Is that 4 a.m.? Holy smokes. Okay, I guess that's 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Yeah, so that's when we'll be doing it. It's 7 a.m. now. Yeah, so it's 4 a.m. It's 4 a.m. for sure. 4 a.m. No, Omega, it's not 2. Exactly. It's definitely not 2. All right, guys. We're gonna get out of here. I was trying to give Jessica Simone time, but she, you know what? Hold on. I was trying to give Jessica Simone time because I wanted to raid Jessica Simone. But see, the thing about Jessica Simone is that she is, I don't know what she's doing. I don't know what she's doing, but she specifically is, I don't know. I don't know. She's, hold on. Hold on, guys.
For people to charge right now, unless you go on your laptop to tiktok.com/coin. So the best way to be able to support the live is always via Cash App and have these conversations. But we do believe in democracy, and here we vote with our dollars. So if you guys vote with your dollars in the chat,
I want you guys to see this. This is, you see Jessica Simone is still live right now. Jessica, you see this? Look, I want y'all all to see what, look, that's, look. Y'all see Jessica?
how y'all doing?
Jess, what's happening?
We can't see your screen, Santana. We can't see.
No, I was showing them. I was, huh.
Talking to Daniel, who is this Palestinian guy talking about why he voted for Trump.
I was trying to send them over.
He's Palestinian, pretending to be a dude, pretending to be another dude.
I'm the dude pretending to be the dude just playing other dude.
Oh no, Santana, he got up here and said he was Hispanic, and I was like, "You claim your Afro-Latino side?" He was like, "Oh,
You still on the live, Santana?
I am. We're still live right now. There's 266 people still hanging out. I was trying to send them over to you, but I was saying, like, you got to clear the panel just for a second.
I told him, come on.
oh, he gonna do the dude."
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell. Like, I need it. Can you just drop everybody for like 2 minutes, and then I'll make it easy, and then everybody can switch over.
Do you know what he's talking about? I have no clue. That's why when he was saying it, I was like, I thought you were saying you gotta come up on a panel. So what Santana's about to do is you're about to do a live stream.
Yeah.
You stay on live, but you have to drop everyone. And what he's gonna do is like your live is literally going to be next to his live, so
Yeah.
you can just click on your live, then click watch this person's live, and then they'll all immediately go to you.
Yeah, and then everybody can jump over instead of trying to find
She's
you.
gonna send you the invite.
Yeah. Just for like 2 minutes, and then you can bring everybody back.
Okay, Daniel, just for like 2 minutes.
All right, guys. All right, guys. We're gonna raid Jessica. We're gonna raid Jessica Simone. We're gonna raid Jessica Simone. We're gonna do a co-host. We're gonna raid Jessica Simone. Boom. There we go. There we go. She has to accept it. There we go.
Did I do it right?
Hey, what's going on, Jess? I know you can't see me. Hold on. Because of how you can't see me because of how the view is, but whatever. Chat, you guys you know what's going on. I need everybody in the chat just to tap your screen. And when you tap your screen, all you got to do is click at the bottom. It says watch live. If you tap Jessica's side of the screen and then click watch live, then I should see my viewer count going down, her viewer count going up. So only thing you have to do, tap her face, and then at the bottom of the screen, just touch watch live, and it jumps over from my live to her live. I need everybody doing that, and get over into her live and hit a Santana raid. So all you got to do is touch on her face, and then just tap on watch live, and you will shift over from my live to Jessica's live. Come on, guys. Come on. I need to see the numbers going down. You guys aren't doing it quick enough. There we go. Come on, because I'm going over there too. There we go. All you got to do is touch Jessica's face, and then at the bottom of the screen, it'll say watch live. And as soon as you click watch live, it'll switch you over to Jessica's. No, Jessica, chat. Why is Jessica, your people, are they coming over here? What is happening?
No, y'all come y'all ass back over here.
Don't come over here. Go over to the other way.
Come back over here.
What is happening? Why are my viewers going up? No, stop. Y'all, not Jessica.
Hey,
God
Omega. Bring y'all asses over here. What
Jessica,
y'all doing?
come collect your people.
Get over here.
What are they doing? Why is your people coming over here?
You know when you in the store and your mama, you keep picking up stuff right at the register.
My
gosh. Get your ass over here. Get over here. He tries.
Why is your people coming over here?
Y'all get back. Get back.
My numbers are going up. What are y'all doing?
Get back. Now y'all doing a Jessica Simone raid at the same time we doing a Santana raid. Wild. Wild.
This night has been unhinged.
This guy
okay, now they're starting to come down.
As Santana sparring with Santana's guy in the chat talking about, Jessica, you so pretty. I'm gonna pay you on rent. I said, thank you. It's $2,200 a month. I was actually specific. It's $2,151 a month. Where you at? Because my cash app didn't hit. It didn't say ching ching.
Yeah,
it didn't say none of that.
Come on, Jess. You know they be capping.
You know they be capping. You know they ain't got so big, like baby. You can't even find their head.
You know they ain't got it like that.
It's like trying to put a magnum on a. Anyways.
Yeah. Why? I was about to say why is Sunkiss over here? Why is people changing their profile picture to Sunkiss?
Baby, it's for Black History Month, and she has done so much for the culture.
Okay. I get one last thing before I let you go. How about I got my mom on the live?
Hey, mama.
Well, not now. She was watching, right? And then she accidentally clicked to come up. I brought her up. She panicked. I was like, I bet she threw her phone out the window. So I called her. So
shout out to your mama, Mama Tana.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. There's still 260 some people over here. What the fuck are y'all doing? Go over to Jessica's live.
Can y'all tap? End it on their ass.
That's what
then
I'm about
where
to do.
they gonna go somewhere.
All right,
Happy
Jess.
Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Yeah, and we'll have to do this battle because last time we was here, it wasn't that fun, huh? Okay, bye.
You know what though? Things change.
Things do change. We'll win by a landslide next time.
You better be glad I can't figure out how to disconnect this. I can't figure out how to disconnect this quick enough. Hold on.
Disconnect it and bring your ass on over.
Hold on. How do I?
I don't know how to disconnect it either.
Oh, okay. I see it. Never mind. I got it.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, what are you guys still doing here? Why is there still 250 something people here? What? And you talking about Jessica Raid? Guys, get over to Jessica's live. What are y'all doing? Get over to Jessica's live. Get over, tap the screen, share the live, send her daily heart meets, do all that. I love you guys. And as always, peace.